Hello, everybody. Dadman Walking 55 coming to you again on a Wednesday night, 10 o'clock at night on the East Coast. Welcome in, welcome in. Send out the tweets and notices to your neighbors, friends, everybody else. Let's have a little bit of fun tonight. We have no plan, no agenda again tonight. I got a couple rough things we can talk about, but you know how it is. We just stay free and free to do whatever the hell we want to do. And I got surprises coming up with a few things in a few weeks. But for now, it is random. And let me speak of the king and queen. Well, I guess the queen and the court jester of random. It's Wes Cagle and Mrs. Hey guys.
Hey.
Hello.
I can't
Hello,
even
my
right
royal subjects.
Now you pick now to speak with a British accent. Jeez,
That is
nice.
not a British accent, my lord.
Well, what was that?
It was just me talking highfalutin.
Highfalutin.
Wow, that's a big word. Yeah, you sure you might be putting West over here? You know, remember he's from New Jersey. I don't know if he can stand highfalutin.
Well, I know that word from Yosemite Sam. So
Yep.
Oh my God,
Highfalutin.
he used that word? I never remember that. Jeez.
I don't know if he did or didn't.
I'm not
It
sure.
sounded like something he would say.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's something we can actually talk about. Some of our old Looney Tunes favorite characters. That would be a wonderful topic. I mean, I will say I was always Bugs Bunny, but you know, I really like Tweety Bird. Tweety Bird was one of my favorites. What about y'all? What kind of the?
Oh gosh, you have to ask me that. I
didn't say what is your favorite. I mean, you can.
I like
say if you have
I like Foghorn Leghorn, and
I tell you what. I'm telling you what.
And the little whatever that little bird is that's always with him, that
The chicken
hawk.
The chicken hawk. Yeah.
Chicken hawk. I like them. I tell you, sir.
Yeah, those might be Foghorn Leghorn is one of my favorites. Him and the coyote.
Oh,
Wile E. Coyote. Yep.
Oh, Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Speedy Gonzales one of those?
Yeah.
Yes.
I like Speedy Gonzales too.
I will tell you, one of the classic movies that have happened over the years was the original, the one, the only Space Jam with Michael Jordan that involved the Tweety, the Looney Tune characters. That was a classic movie, you know. That was a good use of the characters, not really some just money grab. Did you?
Yeah.
Y'all remember that movie?
Yep.
The original one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I cannot believe that they ruined the history of that with LeBron.
Yeah, well, LeBron is a poor man's Michael Jordan, so they're going to throw him in for everything because they got to boost him up. They got to try to boost him up to the level of Jordan, and it ain't never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. Sorry.
Nope. Now we're
sorry. All you millennials can get on my case because you love LeBron, but no.
There's one great of all time in the NBA, and it's Michael Jordan. I mean, you look, the Bulls did not win the championships after him. I mean, they might have won 1, 2, but they were not the dominating team they were without Jordan in his prime. It just, and then of course when he retired, it was never really the same when he went around the NBA. But I actually got to see him because that's before we got married, Mrs. When he retired and he played baseball. Do you remember when he came through town on that baseball tour?
I do remember when he came through town. I do.
Yep, I was sitting over there at the baseball stadium. Got to watch him play one game. He got one at bat, and never did I realize in a couple years my future wife was just across the street at the television station.
Oh well.
All right. Well. Shall we say hi to who we have out here? We got 5 people, 4 on Twitter, 4 on the YouTube. Thank you for here, and 1 on Twitch. But hey, thank you everybody that's here. We shall see how this goes, and it goes. Legatus is here, but cannot stay. Has an early morning errand. I've actually been told that by other people that they had to be places early in the morning, so I understand that. So I've actually had a nap. Yes, you too. But yeah, you too, absolutely. But hey, I laid down for a nap, and I made it back myself. Fellow Dave, good to see you. Of course, I woke up and Miss like, "Are you gonna get on?" And I'm like, "Yeah, just take a nap." And then we got some guy Kegel. So
they can be dangerous. Those naps can be dangerous. I've taken a nap, even set an alarm, and woken up and gone, "Oh shit! I'm sorry. Excuse me. Pardon my language. Oh,
that's okay word with the first few minutes.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You can't say the F word in the first few minutes of a YouTube.
You've been talking this for 6 minutes.
Well, still though, jeez, I know we're late night, but I got.
Hey, you're not monetized.
I say the S word, and the missus has to drop the F bomb. Of course,
I know. It's okay. She's uncontrollable. It's my channel, but yes, but we love her for that anyway. Yeah, we should have 400 people watching this because of Mrs. here. Isn't it 10 minutes? I don't know, Fallout Dave. That's why I try to err on the other side to just be careful. Although sometimes it's hard not to. Even I get round up after daylight today. Oh man, oh boy. Don't get me started on work. So we already got started on the NBA though. And
only one great. That's all that needs to be said about the NBA. Only one great.
So folks,
a lot of great players. Only one that's the greatest.
I agree. I agree with you.
There can only be one.
If y'all have any thoughts on Looney Tune characters, please share them with us. We'll go back onto that. But yeah, what's weird is and the thing is what happened in the 80s, and which I think is a golden era of the NBA, was just it happened. They didn't have to hype themselves. The greats just became great. And they showed it on the court. I mean, all the matchups between the Pistons and the Lakers and the Celtics, everybody hated each other. And, you had Bird, Johnson. I mean, all these guys, they were just great. They didn't have to be promoted by the league or on their own. They had personalities that were huge. And they played their ass off on the court.
Yep.
Yeah.
They became who they were because of who they were, not through massive promotion and PR firms and all that stuff.
Yeah, it was organic. All of it was organic. It wasn't like everything is concocted now.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep. Well,
but you're right. The golden age, 1980. I think the golden age of my father would, if he was still with us, he would disagree. He would say the golden age was probably 68 to 77 or so. I say it's about 79 to maybe 91, 92.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because all is people really went out of their way to watch the league, and it was an event. I mean, I was surprised somebody the other day told me that they were actually from another country that was actually following this game between the series between the Pacers and Oklahoma City. And I'm like, what the hell? It's like one of the worst, most uninteresting NBA finals ever. But so some people are still watching it, but you don't have the drama and the hatred, the rivalries. Even some of the greats talked about it recently. I think you saw some of the interviews, Wes, where it's like they're like, we didn't like each other. What's all this being nice to each other stuff?
Yep.
Yeah. Which
it's
is
funny. It's funny how. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
It's funny that they back then they literally hate. Yet back there, it was more refined on the court. Now, even though they like each other and they're patting each other on the back, it's all kinds of thuggish behavior and brutal, sloppy, where the refs back in the day would have been calling fouls all day long. I mean, so they've actually had to swallow their whistle because if they didn't, there would be, no game.
Well, that and the fact it's become a 3-point shooting contest, really. They just run down the court, jack it up from three, and there's no more inside game. There is no more, real basketball, I think. Yeah, it's like it is dying from a competitive standpoint, like Father Dave said. It's not. That's why I still like the college game a lot better because there's still pick and roll. They're still running your offense. They're still playing defense at times. Like Florida, they just won the national title. They didn't win it by scoring 100 points and just uncontested threes. That game against Houston was full of defense, tough action, and Mrs. watched the last seconds with me. It wasn't the Gators shooting lights out that night. It was their star three-pointer playing defense.
Was that one where I nearly died?
Yes, exactly. When the guy went to shoot the ball and then threw it on the ground.
That's why I don't watch.
Yes, and B from O's here too. Hello, B from O. How are you tonight? Hey. Great to see you. So we tweeted out.
My father gave up on the NBA. Mm-hmm. He gave up on it. You know, in the years before his passing, mm-hmm. He said it's unwatchable. He went to college, started going to watching college games, and then he started saying it's all that NBA nonsense bleeding in here. He's like, I'm giving up on it. He started watching high school games, just high school games.
I remember you telling me about that. You know, because I tell you, if it gets further into this college game, I would probably consider giving up on college. But for now, it does help when your team wins and wins it all. But still, it's really you know, I still see enough of it being a true game, a true team game, at least from what I've seen. But but NBA, it just. I remember watching NBA years ago when my dad, you know, was passed away in the hospital that time. But it was like, yeah, we watched it. We did watch all the championships and stuff like that, except for hockey, of course. We're Southerners. But don't remind me the Panthers won the Stanley Cup again. But just NBA, it still seemed like basketball with Jordan. It was, you know, in the Jordan days, and you had the rivalry, you had the physical play, but it was physical play within the game where you still had basketball, not this thug act, you know, and all that stuff. Yeah, like the prima donnas. It's not about the team. It's just individuals, in most cases where they do this, you know. But yeah, I mean, well, and we'll get to, but see, because we have two different levels. We talked about the team play, stuff like this, good physical contact. But like we'll talk a little WNBA, but we've seen it. I don't have the videos to show you, but like we have one more. Hey, Connie Cleary's here. Hello, Connie. Good to see you too tonight. Thank you for being here with us. But you know, the biggest thing in the WNBA is their star Caitlin Clark, and you know, the latest video shows her getting mugged again by somebody else. I mean, she gets poked in the eye, and then somebody comes up to her and just body slams her. I'm sorry. What the hell is wrong? This is why the WNBA is a joke. Because you damn what, as an official, if something happened in a game I'm officiating, you're double tech, you're out. I'm throwing the coach out on the other side then too. You know, you don't play with this because it's player safety and stuff. When, you know, those old days, people fought their asses off and all, but it wasn't, well, it's hard to say there weren't cheap shots when you got Bill Laimbeer, but, you know, but they dealt with it, you know, and it was the league did not endorse it. What have you seen, Mrs.? I don't know how much you've seen of that, but Wes, I know
I have seen absolutely nothing because I am totally ignorant of everything that's going on around in the world today.
Let's put it this way. This would be like if one of
I know what you're saying. I think it's wrong, but I haven't seen it, so I can't.
Wes, I'll let you. Yeah, Wes, what do you think?
I don't know how to respond because I lost all that conversation. I got internet issues here. You guys all cut out the whole time.
Oh no, okay. I thought I was trying to ignore it. Basically, what I said, Wes, that last video we saw where one poked her in the eye and the other body slammed her. You know, what I would have done was double check the player and the coach, and they're all gone. And you get control of the game. Even Indiana's coach was complaining. Took the question from the player, from Clark, and was like, hey, listen, these officials got to get this game under control. And she said, you could see it was happening. You knew it was happening. And then she got the technical, not the other player. It's like, I mean, that's
this is a microcosm of society today. So,
yeah. Attack one person
and that person, you attack one person, that person gets arrested.
The person that's the loudest is the one that doesn't get
Yep.
punished. It's, usually, a lot of times something happens and, the people that yell and run and are the ones that become the victims, you know.
Oh,
So,
yeah. It's like Fallout Dave said, first player to ever generate interest in the WNBA, and all the other players hate her. Well, I will say her teammate. She finally had a teammate that responded in the game who took out one of the other players going in for a layup by the head and clubbed her to the ground, and then everybody went after her. So, but at least somebody finally responded.
You remember how what it was like in baseball. If a pitcher, brushed bat or beamed your star batter or whatever, when that pitcher came up, well, it wasn't in the AL, it was in the NL when the pitchers had to actually come to bat. The pitcher got got his head taken off by the other pitcher.
Or they went after the other player's best player.
There was retaliation. It wasn't bench crawling
retaliation.
brawls or anything. Yeah, but there was retaliation.
Hey, Jess, we're talking about Chicago type sports, Jess. Great to see you, Jess. How are you tonight? And actually, we're going to come up into an article that Jess talked to me, gave me a clue on about in a second. But for the moment, we're talking about what's happened in the WNBA. But like Dave's biggest point is you finally got something to make the league. We're talking about a league where like $60,000 is the highest salary and stuff. They need exposure, and you have a walking gold mine. Go ahead.
Yeah, you have a player that's going to do that might generate some interest, which then again would get more revenue, which then again you could get more money. Women's sports have notoriously always been a lower player salary because there's not the interest in it most of the time. And here, like you say, here you have someone that, it's just not good business sense what they're doing and they're not thinking, because if people could start watching and you get that money up, then it's going to trickle down.
Yeah, exactly.
But they'd much rather beat up on the good player.
Well, yeah, it's like, it's like sticking your face in the fan. It's like you're hurting yourself. Cut your nose off to spite your face is what they say. It's like, you got something to, they have a potential of having a rivalry between her and Angel Reese. But then again, Angel Reese is like, okay. When you score, this big star player that they want to push only gets a McDonald's meal, and the big joke is she scores 4 points. So I'm not sure how West, are you still with us?
Yep.
Yeah, jump out as how you can play. Because see, this could be like a Bird Johnson rivalry, but both of those guys could play. It's like. And hey, Outlaw Bill, how are you tonight? Crap. There we go. Good to see you, Bill. Hope you're doing well. We got on basketball tonight. By the way, folks, if you have favorite Looney Tune characters, go ahead and feel free to share them. But the reason why I got onto basketball already was our friend Jess shared with me something tonight. Hold on. Jess, okay. Yep. Wes is going to have to rejoin us in a little bit. He's going to try to get back to us. So I will go ahead and I'll go ahead and minimize him then in the meantime. But well, dang, I'll hold off on the article, but I will talk about a little bit is that the Lakers are being sold for $10 billion.
10 billion?
$10 billion.
With a B?
With a B, yes.
Who the hell is buying it? Who has $10 billion? That's my question. Who has $10 billion?
Well, I will talk more about that when Dave gets back because
I don't.
Okay. What? $10 billion? Is that kind of?
That's a lot of money. I'm just gonna pull $10 billion out of my wallet.
Well, apparently the guy has enough money to do it, but it would not be a surprise if you see it. So, Oh, Fallout Dave said Tweety Bird. I said Tweety Bird there too. He kills all the cats and just smiles about it. Yes. And Outlaw Ball said hello to you too.
Hello.
So, okay, what did you buy, Fallout Dave? What did he buy? Oh no, is it something in Fortnite? That would be interesting if you did buy something in Fortnite. Oh, did I tell you? Did you see the other day? I got
Now,
that
how
West.
did the update go? I haven't even checked my game.
Oh shoot, I didn't either. Well, apparently, and we'll bring West on. That is one of the problems that's happened is they've complained about a lag, a massive lag, worse than anything else. That they both of them have been suffering with a lot of lag in the gameplay, even after the update. Jess and I was hoping that how we had to go into gameplay to be able to talk. We had hoped the update would fix that. No, I mean Epic is really screwed up big time, and they're not fixing some of this stuff. And hey, Bowsette, good to
they're
see you
adding
tonight.
stuff without fixing what is the problem. But yeah,
great to see you tonight again, Bowsette. So good to see you. Fallout Dave admitted he bought the Lakers.
Oh, okay. I can see it.
Yep. Yep. So we're waiting on Wes Cagle to get back to go down that story a little bit, but yeah, it's because we'll get back to the NBA story in just a second. That big news about the sale of the Lakers, a storied franchise, but yeah, I'm
crazy. That is crazy.
But like you said, I think they came out with a new blitz thing and some new game options or something. And today I saw nothing but problems. That people were complaining the blitz options weren't matchmaking. Actually, I don't think just that. I think it was several different types of the games they were having matchmaking issues, and the blitz also had its own issue with something that got fixed. But it's been a pain in the ass lately to try to play. Many times. And
yes.
And like I said, I can't wait for Wes to get back because, fellow Dave, share some of your stories out there if you don't mind, because Dave was telling me about the lag, and it's just the one thing with a game like that is that lag will kill you. That lag takes the fun out of the whole game.
It gets very frustrating when
Bowsette says that's epic for you. Eventually you screw up every game they're involved in. Yeah, kind of. At some point, when is big too big? And I tell you, it's a space hog of a game. It's the most. We joke about it being the most expensive free game out there because of all the skins and all the other stuff. But God, the memory, the space that you have to take, it takes up on your computer.
Yeah, well, I think it was Atwood that said that you don't have to. You can only have to what is it? There was something like if they have the rocket racers and the Lego and all that and everything. Well, let's say the only thing you wanted to do is the rocket racing.
Hold on. I'm sorry. He's here tonight, Mrs. I know you were worried about him this morning. Sashi's here.
He came in at the last when I was doing my closing show.
Oh, okay.
But
sorry. Yes. Hey, okay. Sashi. But go ahead. I'm sorry. What did Atwood say?
I told him I was worried about him. That you have to download everything just to get a part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't want, and that takes so much space. And yeah.
Yeah, and if you if you have to play on older computers or laptops, it is really, really, it gets tough. It slows everything down, affects your own computer, and let's see. So let's see. Bowsette said, "Space's lack of programming skills. Games used to be feature-rich and small with unlockables in the game." Yeah, and I tell you, if it's anything like a lot of other IT, they're discounting it out, cheaping out the labor, and overwhelming what staff they have because it's a great game, but it is having a lot of bumps in the road that it used to never have. Yeah.
Yes.
So, Jess said on Twitch, if the streamer sets what they're playing, the new category Fortnite Lego Odyssey, you get drops. Half hour, 1.5 hours. Yes, I also saw that Twitch people were having problems with matching up, and and other things. This Twitch 2 weren't, but there were issues affecting the Twitch play, which we always know that they always have their own lobbies and other difficulties they have to use to deal with.
Yes.
But yeah. Sashi said, "Yeah, my absence cut the show down by almost 30 minutes." Ah, well, I did notice Mrs. ended early today, so that was true. Yeah.
Yes, because we didn't have no recipes. I did show some, but because I think it was like I don't remember what I think I showed a recipe. Maybe I didn't. I can't remember.
Well, he can share a recipe if he'd like to tonight to make up for it. But Jess said a rumor has been for a few seasons they're going to where you can download sections. Oh, interesting. I don't know. I wonder if that means if you download a battle royale versus downloading Lego.
I would love to not have to have racing and all that other crap on there. OG, any of that. Ugh.
No, I agree. Oh wait, OG, come on, lady.
Like
OG. It's Fortnite at its simplest before all the crazy ass stuff they've added to it. Dave said it's how cheap storage is. They don't care about. No, they don't. They're just gonna make it bigger and bigger. And Bowsette said exactly, Dave. Lack of optimization.
They just don't care.
Yeah, and Bowsette says even Genshin Impact allows you to download the minimum to make the game play.
Yeah,
that's true. That is.
I'm sorry, I don't really know what else to say. But I agree.
You're doing good. Yeah, you're doing good. We're waiting for Wes Cagle to get back. He's had to move locations in his house to get a better.
Goodness gracious!
What's that?
I'm moving my computer. Everybody, give me a second.
Yep, it's tough. He's still on the road though. He's hoping to be back to his normal place next week. So yeah, he's still on the road working. So we got 11 people, 10 on YouTube. Thank you. Smash that like button. Share out the stream if you don't mind. Hey, we got the 10 likes already. Yay!
Oh wow!
Going on Twitch. Yeah. So yeah. Stop funding the companies that you. Yeah. End of story. Well. I still, it's the greatest free game I've ever got, but we like to sit around and complain about it. But where else can you blow up gas stations for free and not go to jail? So, Sashi said, don't play Fortnite, but I shall shake my fist in solidarity.
Yes. Thank you, kind sir.
Yes. By the way, I'll go back.
Curse you, Fortnite.
Well, let me go back to what David said actually earlier, because we'll get Wes' opinion.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can put up Wes Cagle's little put him up on screen. I love what he said. What his little thing says. Keep calm. I will be right back. Okay, you can take it down now. I just love that.
Yeah, I do too. Well, I found David actually had said earlier. I messed up with this. Yeah, when he was playing West earlier or the other day, it just tons of drop frames, and specifically what Dave said, it's hard to aim or move when you only see every other second. Yeah, it is a game that when it glitches.
Well, see, I don't have any problem with that at all because I have issues aiming anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Half the time my eyes aren't focused, I'm shooting at blobs.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait for Wes to come in and talk about that, because I know he was talking about that today. And that's a game that I've heard about Bowsette, Dauntless. I know a lot of people liked Dauntless. There was a lot of people that had liked Dauntless, but I think Epic had gotten it, and they were moving from Fortnite into Dauntless. And then all of a sudden somebody told me don't even bother with it. It was not the game had changed, or it just was not what it had been. But absolutely, we don't. Oh, so Dauntless is shutting down now. Wow. And that's within the last year and a half, 2 years, when I know some people were playing Dauntless. So let me see. Hey, are you back, West?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. I didn't see the private chat, but I figured when you were not muted.
I just was waiting for the mic to boot up.
Yes, they fooked it up very, very bad. Okay, how bad? We were talking on Fortnite. We jumped topics. We wanted to wait on you to finish the basketball. But how bad in person? Tell us in your own words How bad is this lag right now
Yeah,
in Fortnite?
it was weird. I was playing yesterday, and I said, you know what, they're gonna shut this thing down at 4. You know what? Let me just turn in. It was about midnight. I said, I'm gonna turn in. I'll wait until the morning to see what goes on. I get up. I happen to get up early. I got up about 6, and it was still not finished yet. It said it was still offline. I'm like, okay. So about 8 o'clock, I looked. I'm like, okay, they're ready. They're ready. They're online again. I clicked it, opened it up. You know what? I actually have a screenshot originally. Let me grab that. Um, of what I originally saw when I first got on. It God, it was. Let me see if let me open that. Come on. All right. This is the pic. This is the image. This is the view I was greeted when I first got on. This is what I saw.
Oh my gosh.
You ready? Can I?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
This is what I saw.
Wow.
This is and I decided to try to play a game. um yeah, this is what I saw. I'm like, what in the world? Funny thing was, everybody else must have been having trouble too, because in that game I came in 5th.
Oh my
Mm.
gosh.
Nobody could. I kept waiting. I'm going. Somebody please eliminate me, because I need to get back to
You
the
gotta
lobby.
just gotta like put this on your channel.
Yep, and it was the storm that got me finally. No, I'm running around half blind trying to find somebody to do me in,
Follow
and
follow that little map.
And has this
yeah,
been since the update?
yeah. This was the first thing I got, and then so I rebooted the game. When I rebooted the game, I could see the picture. The picture was fine, but the lag was so bad that the screen was reacting 3 to 4 seconds after I made my move, so you can't play.
Oh
And it's
my
still
god.
like
No,
that.
it's
It's like
it's
that now.
impossible.
Yep,
Wow,
yep.
that sucks though, dude.
So
That
we'll
really
we'll see.
does.
Maybe it'll you know, iron itself out. I don't know. They did. I did. I googled it, and I asked the AI. Has there been an issue with extreme lag since the update? And I said the date, and they said yes. There has been reports of issues, several issues, including extreme lag. So I'm like, okay, and it's not just me, and it can't be just me, because I mean, I didn't have problems like this before. So yeah.
If it
Wow.
was just you playing like that, you would have died like really fast.
Exactly. Yep. I came,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm watching. I'm like, okay, I made the top 50. All right, and then I made the top 25. I'm like, come on. I managed to open a chest and get and get a pistol and shoot it off in the air, hoping I could attract somebody to come and get me out of the game. But
Shoot me, man,
yeah,
shoot me.
Just hide out in a basement somewhere and end up second in the whole damn game.
it's
That's
funny.
what I did. Yeah.
I wandered. Remember, I told you there's that one tunnel in the game that goes under the mountain that bends
Yep.
in a complete U. That if there's a
Yep.
storm coming at one end, it'll be at the other end too. I managed to find. I got lost in that. I got in there and I couldn't get back out.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny.
That's too funny. Well, West, I put something in the private chat for you to work on in a moment. So, but yeah, I know Jess and I had high hopes that they would fix like that communication issue at least, because it's been ongoing since the new season, even before the new season. I thought there are where what we have to do, folks. Wes and I can get together. We have to actually start a game, get in the game. We finally talk as the bus jumps or the game starts,
Yeah.
and then it's like we can talk. So then we have to dump that to start up again another time. Yeah, then we can stream. We can talk on stream. But then what's weird is anybody else that joins after can just join in naturally. But that initial first
That
person to
initial
talk
thing,
to,
yeah,
yep,
it's weird. I agree with you on
and it
that.
still has not been fixed. So, oh God, here's Mr. Edger himself. Maybe they're trying to bring attention to the struggle of people with prescription glasses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what it was like. God, I
that
thought that was
was
going to be permanent, but like I said, when I rebooted it, I'm like, you know what? I think it was better when I couldn't see, because at least I could play. The lag, I
yeah.
can't move.
Yeah, that is just insane. Though I will tell you that. Let's see, but yeah, it's I don't know. I still love my Fortnite because it's a good way to laugh and stress relief and stuff. Blow up a few gas stations, but still, I mean, you've not been on it the last few days, have you? Except when we played.
Yeah, I've been on it a little bit, but
Have you noticed any lag from your side?
oh
Or are
no, I
you?
haven't been on it since the update. I played we played, whenever the day before the update. So was that Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Because
You
like
know,
I
it's,
said,
you,
go ahead, Wes.
you know, it's funny you talking about the gas station thing. One of the last games I played before the update, I was driving and I was playing a little differently. I decided not to blow the gas station because if you park your car on the pad in
No
front of the pump,
fun.
it heals the car, repairs it and
Right.
gasses it up. So
Mm-hmm.
I was, I stopped to do that, and I'm on the left pump on the outside. I look all the way over, and on the opposite pump on the outside, somebody's doing the same thing, and we're both out of our cars, and we look at each other, and I'm like, "Uh-oh." So I pull out my shotgun, and I'm like, "I'm gonna blast this guy." Unfortunately, you know what's between us, right? A
Oh
Yeah.
whole
my
bunch of
god.
gas pumps. I blew the pumps
Nice.
up. I blew the car up, blew both cars up, knocked myself a whole way back, and lost almost all my shields and a bunch of my health.
Oh,
Hey, at
that
least you
is
didn't
too
throw. At least you
funny.
didn't throw a crypto treat at your wife's car and fly into the storm.
Oh, I was so pissed off. That
That
pissed me
was
off
it.
so bad. God, I so wanted to just beat the crap out of you.
I know you
God.
did. That was kind of funny.
I
So
was really pissed off.
It was funny. It was funny to watch from a distance.
yeah, oh
I'm
yeah,
sure it was funny, but I was ticked.
I didn't realize we
I
were
was
fun.
not being a real team player that day, so I
But
apologize
I was
now for
shocked we
that.
ended up second that match.
Yes, we
Could you
did.
imagine had I not screwed up like that, we might have been able to win that time. So
Probably not, but
yeah, but like I was looking at Fortnite a lot today. 7 hours ago, aware players unable to matchmake into various modes, including Blitz Royale. And then, of course, that was fixed an hour later. Then, just as soon as they did that, they said the matchmaking issues previously addressed have resurfaced. We're investigating further, keep you informed on updates of what have them. I mean, it's just like,
It could be
it's,
going hand in hand. Both the lag, because like I said, I understand that lag's not a new thing, but for
mm-hmm.
it to all of a sudden happen to me this bad right after the update, it has to be
it is, yeah,
related. Yeah.
Wow.
yes.
Well, speaking of the games like Dauntless, which Balzetta had mentioned, Epic is telling me that they did an update in that game, which removed everything and locked it behind paywalls, and then you had to restart the game and unlock everything that you had done, you know, gotten to that point. I mean, at least we're not dealing with that yet here with this game, but for as long as this game's been out, it's like cut out this crap. It should function better. And maybe it's a case of the game has just gotten way too big because they keep adding all this extra crap, all these creator modes, and all this other stuff instead of just letting it be a game.
Right.
Yeah.
But
You are correct.
no, I tell you, yeah. Oh God, well, if Dave said you went scorched earth, and the graphics are better than ever. There's Fallout Dave for you.
Yes. Yes.
So, but it's just insane. Well, anyway, we'll see. Like I said, it's so crazy when they have their own Twitter page. Well, Fortnite update and all the different ones that are out there for all your Fortnite problems.
Problems.
And it's like today it was like it went off the charts between creator. It's like it was on the whole damn thing was on a dumpster fire. So. All right. Well, that's about it. So that was Wes Cagle's firsthand exposure to the problems today. So
Yeah. It was.
uh,
It's gonna have to. Maybe I'll try again tomorrow. We'll see.
I tell you, there have been days with that damn game. I just say, screw it. I'm done. I can't deal with
Yeah.
any more
Yeah.
shit.
Well, that's
It's
what happened today. But after I got try to get on at 6, and I try to get on at 8, then I try to get on at 10, and I try to noon. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to watch Blazing Saddles instead. I don't care.
Oh, I love Blazing Saddles. That is a great movie.
which we were able to watch in the theater a while back, a couple years ago. which is really, really interesting. What are your memories of Blazing Saddles, West?
Oh, I don't know, just it came out. God, what was that? Late 70s, late 70s? Yeah, late. God, I gotta look this up now. I was young when it came out, so let me see. Oh God, I can't even spell. I can't even type now.
Well,
it's because of all that Fortnite stuff.
Yeah.
So Mel Brooks is obviously a comic genius, correct?
74, a lot earlier than I thought, even. Yeah.
So but, y'all both Mel Brooks fans, very comic genius.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's done some stinkers, but yes, I will say that there is mostly genius there.
What are some of your favorite Mel Brooks movies?
High Anxiety.
Okay. Young Frankenstein, right?
Young Frankenstein.
Yeah. Wes, do you have any offhand?
Well, my obviously my favorite is Blazing Saddles.
Oh, well, yeah,
Blazing. See, to me, some of those they're just givens.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, Blazing Saddles. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, if we have to exclude that, and I go like maybe to my number 2, might be History of the World, or maybe To Be or Not to Be. I think both of them are hysterical.
To Be or Not to Be is good.
And Young Frankenstein, obviously. You know when you talk about Mel Gibson, your favorite, I have to set aside both Blazing
Mel
Saddles
Brooks
and Young Frankensteins.
You said Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson.
I knew who you were talking about. I knew who you were talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I
hate it when you go to look at what their films, and they don't put them into a list. They're like just in a.
Well, Wikipedia used to be set up where if you looked on the side, you could scroll down and it would show a thing that said filmography, and you click on it, it would bring. A lot of the things don't have that anymore. I'm like, what?
Because people aren't making the charts. Whoever's putting these in, they're dicks.
Yeah, well, yeah, the people editing Wikipedia are a bunch of lunatics. So
yeah, well, yeah. I've never understood the whole concept of Wikipedia with how people could just edit stuff.
Yeah.
But Fallout Dave brought up.
Okay, here we are. Here's a list of the movies.
Okay. Well, let me let you do. Are you going to bring it up on screen, or are you just going to read it?
I'm just looking through Wikipedia. Well,
okay.
These can't be all of the movies he's done. Silent Movie, that was a good one. The Producers, Blazing Saddles, The 12 Chairs, Young Frankenstein, Silent Movie, Frankenstein, High Anxiety, History of the World Part 1, Spaceballs, Life Stinks, Robin Hood Men in Tights, Dracula, Dead and Loving It. Was there not more than that?
Yeah, I have all of his movies on my hard drive. He's got.
I have a whole list of them. That cannot
The Critic.
be all.
There's a short called The Critic. Don't forget the Producers.
By the way, I have a clarification on The Critic. Hello, Citrus. I love the high fruit cakes. Yes,
there he is.
Our critic.
Well, this was just his movies. That wasn't everything. Maybe that is all his movies he did.
Yeah.
Wow, it just seems like he did a lot more than that.
No, I guess it's all 11 Mel Brooks movies ranked. So it is just 11 movies.
Yeah, that's what I have. 11 plus The Critic, which is, like I said, it's a short, and it's kind of a it's very strange. Now you put it this way, but I mean, it was produced by Columbia, major studio. So
yeah, but he's been around so long. It's like you think
I might accidentally leave the show because I'm looking at this stuff on the same. I'm just tabbing over, so I might just close this whole thing out, and if I disappear, I'll come back.
You'll be back. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. We will be waiting for you, Mrs. Should that happen. But hey, you're still here for now, because I will say one of the movies, Spaceballs.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got something to show y'all for this. on two levels because I want to move into another new topic, which I don't think we finished basketball, but this is a squirrel stream. So, Spaceballs is a better Star Wars movie than the entire Disney Star Wars trilogy. Changed my mind. Dark Helmet.
I'm agreeing with you. I don't want to change your mind.
I know. That's. What do you think, Wes?
Yeah. I don't. I can't disagree. I mean, the only good one of those three was the first one, and it's flawed as well. I mean, there's plenty of flaws in it, but the other two are garbage, complete garbage. As a matter of fact, I walked out of the theater of The Last Jedi, and I have refused to watch anything other than just some clips from The Rise of Soywoker.
Okay, this is something that's really, really interesting.
What is?
Okay, Mel Brooks. You think of Mel Brooks, you think of Zany, you think of that. He was executive producer of The Elephant Man. Which
wow,
means
that's a
put
serious
money up.
movie.
I mean, basically, I guess.
And that was a serious movie.
Very serious and very sad and very tragic.
We always just think he's all comedy, and wow, that's interesting.
I just thought that was just very interesting.
I agree.
Quick trivia there. Does anybody know the name of the actor that actually played Malkovich, the Elephant Man himself?
Oh my gosh! Yes,
it's a famous actor, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not John Hurt.
It's not John Wayne, is it?
Is it John Hurt?
It is John Hurt. Yes,
John Hurt.
One of my favorites. I love John Hurt. He's great.
Oh, he was so good in that.
Nice misses. Well, speaking of, since we're talking about Mel Brooks and stuff with Spaceballs, I guess the rumor, the long talked about rumors are true now. There was a trailer issued 38 years later. There's going to be Spaceballs 2. The search for more money.
I did hear that. Yep.
Yes. Although I will say the little trailer that they did, I thought was kind of funny the way they detailed everything that's happened in 38 years. What's interesting, it's really Brooks is scheduled to have a role in it, but a little bit with yogurt. But Josh Gad, I think, is supposed to be the comic leader of this effort, and I know a lot of people do not like him, do not like what he's been in with Disney and other shows and stuff like that. Yeah, that's kind of what it is fully expected to be bad.
Yeah.
In this case, based on him.
They did have. They've got two. I mean, some of the people are gone, so you can't bring them back. I mean, Dick Van Patten's gone, Joan Rivers gone, John Candy's gone. So a lot of them are gone. But what's his name? Paxton? Not Bill Paxton.
Pullman.
Yeah, he's supposed to come back, and so is Rick Moranis coming out of retirement to.
Yes, yeah,
to come back. So
that was huge. That was the one role I think he didn't.
Yep.
Although I don't like the idea that I guess that Bill Pullman's coming back, but he's playing President Scrooge, not Lone Star.
Yeah, well, I'm guessing they probably are gonna make it so that Lone Star became the president. Maybe, I don't know how they're gonna play it, but
yeah,
that's my guess. I mean, you can't have. That's like doing another Star Wars and then having Mark Hamill play Han Solo or Vader. You can't do that.
Right. Yeah,
well,
I'm trying to get,
but it's not good.
Yeah, you can do anything, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get.
Tell me I can't do anything. Show you, dummy.
Well, that's what I feel like nowadays anymore. I can't do anything.
What a sucky article
the immortal phrase that my mom says, "I'll do what I want."
Yeah. You guys, 5 days ago, Mel Brooks announced Spaceball 2 will debut in 2027. So Wow. Spaceball 2 was announced in June 2024, but actually they have new faces like Josh Gad and Kiki Palmer. I'm not sure who that is, but
Hmm.
although I've heard mixed things, I've heard now completely different things. I've heard Pullman will. This article says he'll return to play the respective role along with Rick Moranis, but I've also heard he's not. He's actually the president of this one. So,
So who's that other female you mentioned? I think sounds like a female name. And
Kiki something?
Daphne Kiki Palmer, yeah.
I
I
don't know.
think
I've
she
never
might be
heard
the
of.
one. I if it's who I think it is, it may be somebody that is might be replaced Dot Matrix.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the only
Yeah.
Kiki I ever knew was Kiki D.
Uh,
Yeah.
anyway,
So
but
I
yeah,
don't even know who this is.
regardless of casting and everything else, I mean, see, this movie,
I'm just
I'm
worried
like,
about it.
I'm worried about it. Yeah, Fallout Dave got a perfect Star Wars line. I got a bad feeling about this. See, this was one I might try, give it a kick and a try, but only because Brooks, depending on how much Brooks controls it versus Gad, Rick Moranis is in it. I'm a little more willing to maybe try this, unlike the Naked Gun.
Mm,
The Naked Gun to me is one I started smiling at a couple of the clips I've seen, but it's a case with not having Leslie Nielsen. It's not the same movie.
yeah. Nope.
I,
Nope.
I just I to me the so far Naked Gun is a hard no for me.
Me too.
Um, because it's just I will say honestly, Liam Neeson does not. He's a fine actor for what he does, but quite frankly, I don't
He
find him
plays the
funny.
same actor and
I,
everything.
Mm,
I just and there's a lot about him.
I like Liam Neeson, but
I like Liam Neeson. I love him in
yeah.
those roles. Like you said, he's the same actor, but I don't want to associate him to comedy, especially this type of comedy, because he's so much different than Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah.
And
the Leslie Nielsen's him. It is so hard to do what he did,
Exactly. Yeah.
and because you have to be goofball without being a goofball.
Yes. You play a
And
deadpan.
I mean, yeah, and being deadpan and being funny is hard.
Yep. Yep.
And what little I've seen with Liam Neeson, he does the deadpan, but he doesn't do it good.
Well, yes. You. The whole twist with Nielsen is that he delivers funny, absurd scenes in a deadpan manner,
The
but
most,
plays it dead straight. Not just
yeah,
deadpan, plays it dead straight. And there's
yeah.
only two people that ever were good at this, and that was him and Bob Newhart.
Oh, Bob
yeah,
Newhart, yes, yes. And you know what's so funny with Liam Neeson, and a lot of people don't know this, he started off like as a heartthrob,
Mm.
and
what I knew he was a
yeah,
serious actor, but
yeah, but he was kind of like a heart,
by the way, Lisa's
romantic
here
Adam,
saying
you
the
know,
problems of being typecast. Hello, Lisa. You're in time for
and
our game later tonight. Go ahead,
it's like he
Mrs.
got his second career um with comedy,
Yeah.
because he was in like Breakfast at Tiffany's and other movies like that. It's
Hmm.
kinda like, you look at Angela Lansbury and you don't ever think that I mean, to me, I think she's always been just beautiful, but she was gorgeous when she was young,
Oh yeah.
and a lot
Yep.
of people don't think that, they just think of her as,
Mrs. Potts.
um, Mrs. Potts or, Murder, She Wrote.
I
Yeah.
do,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
because Mrs.
Angela
told me about one. She was violent or something, or murderous or something, or
she
Sweeney
was in
Todd, right?
Sweeney Todd, yeah,
Yeah,
she was
I'm
on
like,
Broadway
what?
with Sweeney Todd.
Mhm. Oh. Huh.
Oh,
I'm like,
Lucille Ball, yeah.
Yeah. When I think of Lansbury, I always think of bed knobs and broomsticks.
Oh, yeah, that was see, I thought that was good too. I like Bedknobs and Broomstick. There was a lot of, um
Very Mary,
yeah,
very Mary Poppinish like.
Yeah.
Yes, but there was a lot of controversy is not the right word, but people were concerned with it because it was, witches and magic, and like Mary Poppins wasn't.
Mm.
This is
Not
like,
Mary Poppins, y'all.
That, that is one of the best lines in that movie.
I know
Is he
Mrs. gets
cool?
tired. Mrs. Kidd's tired of me saying it all the time. She's like, give it a
and Belle
rate.
said, I watch Murder She Wrote with my mother-in-law on Thursdays. We either watch Murder She Wrote or we watch Perry Mason. We either watch Murder She Wrote or we'll watch Andy Griffith, and then it'll go into Perry Mason. Da 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 da. I
Oh,
love
with
Perry
my
Mason
mom.
too.
Yeah. Yeah, Mom always loved Perry Mason.
Tom Hanks was comedic. Then he got too full of himself, and now he's just stupid.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't want to say what he's full of.
Lisa's comment. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. He's full of lemon pie. Just kidding.
Lemon
Equalizer.
pie. The original Equalizer was good. Yeah.
I tell you, I like the Denzel Washington Equalizer movies, but I know they're completely different. I mean,
well, he's
I've not
good.
seen any of them.
He's made some good redos. That movie, one of my mom's favorites, was a movie she watched it over and over. Was Man on Fire.
Yes.
With Denzel Washington. But I didn't realize that was a remake for the longest time.
Really? What was it? Who
I forget who was originally in it. I was surprised. Yeah.
Because I did like that movie.
Yeah. But
yeah, 1987, and it was Joe Pesci was in it as Scott Glenn, Danny Aiello.
Really?
Yep, 1987.
I'm gonna have to look that up because I think you're lying. I know you're not.
Well, what's not lying? We at least had 12 people here watching us. Thank you. Hit that like button, subscribe, share, all that stuff. We are back to 712 subscribers. Yay. So we're up high. All right. Mrs. You're at what, 627 now?
Yeah, I got a subscriber unless it went away. I saw it this morning.
But
I actually am learning to look.
Yeah. Ow. But my whole point with this the Spaceballs 2 is, it's when is it too late? Because it's like it's been 38 years. We've lost, like you said, a lot of good people with it. And I do now. If they pick on the Star Wars trilogy a lot, they got a lot to work with. They actually have a lot of stuff to work with that they'd like to.
I'm kind of. I mean, if they're gonna do a remake of something like that, I'm glad it's got enough distance between it. I don't know if I'm going to like it. It's going to be very hard for me. But I think given a little distance with this, they can kind of just the way Mel Brooks is and the humor, I think it would work better than if, they did it even 10 years later. How long's it been? 30? 40?
Spaceballs? God, Spaceballs was 87, I think. 86, 87, 88.
So about 4. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a long time.
I didn't realize I was that old.
Let me see. Spaceballs was 87, yes.
Same time as Man on Fire. It's about time they did a remake then.
Do it again,
Yes. Speaking of, so we've done that. We talked Leslie Nielsen like we've done everything else. We're bouncing around. We still have not finished our article now because Wes had computer problems. Now he's back. We talked about
before
earlier.
The computer messes up.
We even talked about.
I'm in the location where it's a strong enough signal.
No,
so
we talked to you about Caitlin Clark and how the WNBA won't protect the great players. The Los Angeles, thanks to our friend Jess, coming out tonight. Los Angeles Lakers being sold in the NBA for $10 billion.
Wow, that's more than the Star Wars franchise got sold for.
That's not the one I'm talking about. The pizza stuff. But yes, Lisa, I love that. But I love Spaceball. But yeah, the Lakers being sold for $10 billion. Wow.
I thought you were pulling a Dr. Evil there. $10 billion.
No,
it's like, oh crap. Looks like YouTube's even have YouTube's looked at Fortnite and Epic and said, "Here, hold my beer."
Yeah.
I understand about that, but we just want to make sure we keep our chat clear of some of the stuff so we don't get in trouble with the YouTube gods either.
Yeah.
That's why we have to be careful about what we're saying in a lot of the stuff here.
Yeah, they
plus we're trying to keep it open. Yeah, but I just want to make sure we stay in a good place. But Mrs. You had asked who would buy this, but
I just looked. Oh my god!
The Buss family, if you don't remember, Jerry Buss was the owner after he passed his daughter Jeannie, who was the girlfriend of the great Chicago coach Phil Jackson, who then became a coach of the Lakers.
Of course, yeah, I know all this.
Sell approximately $10 billion to businessman Mark Walter.
Huh. I really thought it was going to be a coalition of people because that's a lot of money for a basketball team.
Oh, God, Lisa's on the case now. Skynet is alive. We call it AI messing up everything. That's what's screwing up Fortnite and YouTube and everything. By the way, Lisa, are you having the glitch problems that West and Fallout Dave are saying when you're playing Fortnite? I'm just curious because I've not been on in a few days.
Are these the same people that bought like the Dodgers?
Well, let's look in the article. But it will mark the largest sale ever of a U.S. pro sports franchise.
Wow.
Yeah, well, let's see. Walter, who's the primary owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Oh, wow.
Is the CEO of TWG Global, a multinational conglomerate holding company. By the way, yeah, Lisa said she's been having the problems too. So, yeah. All right.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, we got 15 people. We're going to have to play somewhere in the USA in a few minutes. We got this many people. We're going to have to play tonight. How's that sound?
All right. I guess Fortnite.
What? What about Fortnite?
War in the USA. I guess Fortnite.
There you go. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Well, he also owns the Los Angeles Sparks, the NBA team, the Premier
WNBA.
League's. I said WNBA.
Okay.
The Premier League's Chelsea FC football club, and the newly formed Cadillac Formula One team, which is marked to debut in 2026.
The Cadillac Formula One team. What do they all have to get out and push?
Probably.
Oh man. Well, are you on the New York Post also?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Well, Jeannie Buss will remain in her position as a franchise's governor after the sale. The Buss family has seen the value of the Lakers skyrocket since Jerry Buss acquired the franchise for $67.5 million in 1979, and now will reap the benefits of that purchase 46 years later.
Wow.
When Jerry died in 2013, his ownership stake in the franchise transferred to his 6 children, with Jeannie assuming the role as the team's governor. The deal comes after 2 other highly valued NBA franchises recently sold. Whoa, Mavericks and Celtics. I did not know. Mark Cuban sold his majority stake in the Mavs in late 2023 to the Allison family for $3.5 billion, though he retained approximately 27% in the team.
That's crazy, man.
In March 2025, Wyc Grousbeck sold his controlling stake in the Celtics to William Chisholm for $6.1 billion.
Wow.
Oh, my God. Now, that's at least that's a storied franchise.
Mm.
Walter has been one of the most willing spenders in Major League Baseball with the Dodgers. That's why they keep making the playoffs and win World Series, because they'll spend the money. Have the second highest payroll in baseball at $321.3 million.
Wow.
Well, that's why the Yankees won all those years, because they were spending. So.
Yep.
But isn't that kind of why they did salary caps?
Yeah, well, unfortunately in baseball, and it's the stupidest thing, it's not a hard cap like in football. It's kind of a hybrid soft cap. You can spend all you want, you just got to pay the penalty. So if you've got bottomless pit, it's not a salary cap.
That's sucks. That's not fair. Sorry.
Yep. Well, that's how that works.
That's cheating, man. That's cheating.
Yeah,
I don't like
That's
them.
what I think.
Okay, so I'm not going to watch baseball anymore. They piss me off.
Yeah,
that's why the Yankees were always like I don't know, millions and millions, like maybe 50 million over the salary cap every year. They just like, well, we'll just pay the penalty. We don't care.
Yeah, Steinbrenner did that, I think, at some point.
Yep.
It's like you might as well. I mean,
Well, when you bring in the kind of money the Yankees bring in, you can spend that kind of money the Yankees spend. So,
yeah, folks, I think we finally got back to that article like 40 minutes later, but we've been bouncing on these. Folks, if you want to talk about your Looney Tune characters, if you have any other thoughts on Spaceballs, Naked Gun, we'll be talking more about those movies as they get closer. But like I said, to me, Naked Gun's a hard pass for me.
Well, I do have one more question. I was just curious because this been about the franchise being sold.
Yeah.
I'm curious of the four major sports, hockey, baseball, football, basketball. Is there still at this point a team that is owned by the original family still? I would be hard pressed to think of one. I mean, I think even the Giants, I think are not the original owners at this point. The Bears,
yeah.
I don't think the Hallis family owns it anymore. I think they're gone.
Jess would have to speak to that. I think that Virginia Hallis, I think that still our last was still in the Hallis family though. I think one of the granddaughters and all actually was still. But we'll see. But you would think maybe it'd be a newer franchise like the expansion, like the Carolina Panthers. Richardson doesn't own it anymore.
Yeah.
The Jaguars, the Weavers don't own the team anymore. You may be right on to something like that. I don't necessarily think that may be true. I mean, that Hallis may be the last one because I don't think the Mara family are the original owners of the football Giants.
Yeah, I don't know. So I have no idea.
Like Lisa said, the Packers are community owned, based on neighborhood. But back to Fortnite real quick. Lisa had said being able to hear teammates wasn't working. Them not hearing me wasn't working. Some say not hearing me is a good thing. I wouldn't say all that. Well, what Weston, Miss, and I had always had one of it. We had to go into a game to start up, and then we would hear each other. Then people could join after that. So I don't know. Maybe it's the same thing. I don't know. But Wes really had problems with the glitches. So did
because we would go into the game, and then it would automatically. I mean, when we left the game, we were in party chat. So I don't know.
Yep. Hallis McCaskey family is what Jess is saying.
Oh, okay.
So that may be one of the rare ones that actually does go back. And NBA. Yeah. So in any other world, any other business, the WNBA would be gone.
It would
Lisa
fold.
said cat fights. But I tell you what, I'm proud of that one girl for defending Clark finally. The way she pulled that girl down the head first, it was like, that reminds me of high school when some guy mouthed off at me and I got tired of it. And he stole the ball from me and was going for a layup. My friend said at the time, he said I was saying something in my, under my breath. As he was going in for a layup, I got him around his shoulders and slammed his ass into the floor and into the bleachers. And I just walked off. Like, it was like hilarious. Yeah. And that's the thing is beyond just taking the knee, all this, you got a league that, you got some excitement, but you can't. You do everything to attack the audience and everybody else for the people that want to get there. So
yep. And you attack and try to decapitate the golden goose, the one thing that's actually putting butts in the seats finally.
Exactly. Yeah, Mrs. Casinos do that. They have a take limit, but pay the fine because it pays. Yep.
I don't understand what a take limit is. What's a take limit? I mean, I really don't know what that is.
Oh, how much do they? I don't know. I wonder. Lisa, go ahead and explain it. That'd be kind of cool to see what happens with that. But it sounds like it's something to the West Point where sometimes it's easier. The business can still make enough money off it. The fine is meaningless.
Yep.
I agree with Bowsette. Well, I think unfortunately it's not going to flop.
Start jailing people. They don't get fines anymore. You get jailed.
Yeah,
hey, Alaska Jeff.
Jeff is here. Small Time Republic.
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal with these flagrant, obvious takedown fouls. They're not just fouls. These are obviously assaults. When you start seeing some of this stuff, the person needs to be 1, ejected from that game right then and there. Then 2, they need to have a 10-game suspension and without pay and a fine. So you lose the pay for those 10 games and you pay a fine. Big fine. I think so that you make it so you made no money that season.
Well, I think they should also take away if they have any endorsements. They lose their endorsements, a percentage of their endorsement.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. You know, the official had made though, Wes. It's like you got to take control of the game, like the Indiana coach said. The officials got to take control of the game early, and I mean, double tech, you're out, ejected on that because it's getting
Yep,
worse and worse. That
it is.
Somebody's going to get really hurt.
Somebody's gonna get hurt.
The Babylon Bee had a spoof the other day that Caitlin Clark got crushed by an anvil, you know, and no foul called. And no foul called. Yeah, it's like.
Well, I think part of the problem, and I know people are going to jump down my throat for it, but in that latest clip, I'm seeing a bunch of female refs. Maybe they shouldn't be there.
Take charge, whoever you are. I don't care what gender you are. You're the friggin'. It's like I told the missus when I had people yelling and all this shit at me on, even in a church league. It was like I got the damn whistle. Even if I screw it up, I'm embracing it. I got the whistle. All y'all can sit there and shut up. I got the power.
Yeah.
And the one thing you don't want is you do not want fights.
My dad used to get paid to officiate games, and there were fans, in the stadiums, would heckle him and stuff for he actually he had the security escort people out because he's like listen, I'm God here, you're nothing.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. Oh, Lisa said that all these problems are supposed to be patched after the update. No.
No, the update created the problem.
See, Lisa, the WNBA is succeeding with Lisa because of fights. So,
yeah.
Oh, good. True. It's small time.
I guess
Republic.
no publicity. No, there's no such thing as bad publicity. So.
Yep. Steelers. I forgot about this one. Small time Republic. Thank you. Glad you're here tonight. But the Steelers
the
Roonies. That's got to be, oh, wow, very minor. I mean, cause like I said, even the Carolina Panthers and the Jaguars, recent expansion teams don't have the original owners. So, And then Jeff, hello to you too, Jeff. Good to see you too. Lisa talked about the capped at the percent of win loss on slot machines. Okay.
Well, what are the Steelers going to do when the current ones pass? Because I mean, the daughter is not interested in football. She's an actress, right? So she doesn't. She's not interested in football.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I will tell you, but yeah, I do agree that it's. Oh gosh, I do agree that it's. It's. I don't know where do I want to go. Do I want to go Naked Gun or back to the WNBA? But it's for the WNBA. It's hard to take a sport seriously. We joke about how LeBron gets protected and things like that, but at least they're looking out for the star, player. This is just, and the worst part, somebody's going to get hurt badly.
Yep.
And maybe not Clark. Maybe it's one of the others because of retaliation. You gotta keep, like we talk about. There is fighting in hockey. There are certain things, but a lot of these things are done with certain unwritten rules and things like that. But to just go out and blatantly be nailing people and stuff like that, it just, it's uncalled for. It needs to be clamped down, and the people to stop it are the officials on the court. Like you said, your dad said, "I'm God." That was my type of attitude. So,
yep.
All right. Hey, Buddy Hepburn. Good to see you. The Rays are officially for sale, so they may end up staying in Tampa now. Yep. Although they're still playing in that minor league park, but need a stadium though. So, but that's good to see. That's hopeful for the Rays to stay. And hello, ex-Daddy Sniper. Welcome. Yo to you. By the way, I've got to do this since Buddy brought up the Rays. There's also a team, and we will get to where in the USA in a second, but I've got to show this now. I did with JT when we did something a while back. But did you hear about the Bowsette, everybody's a target with these spots and stuff. Yeah. The whole point, it doesn't matter. The thing is, it's the people that run it, and the officials have got to step forward and shut the stuff down. Yep. There's no... Sniper, I thought maybe it was you. Good to see you there, Sniper the Duck. The whole point is, Bowsette, forget political agendas and everything else. the person responsible is the officials on the court. If they don't do anything, if they don't stop it, it's all on them.
Yep. Maybe the directors of the league need to sit down with the officials and say, listen, if somebody gets seriously hurt, we're holding you responsible because you let the game get out of control.
Well, the court conditions, 2 weeks ago, 2 years ago, the court at the place was just unplayable. I had to stop the game because this is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Because the officials on the court bear the most responsibility, because if they're not going to enforce it, if they're not going to throw people out of the game, then I see, Bowser, I don't think that they're paid off. I think that there's pressure from up above the league. I don't know. You know what? Screw it. To me, it's personal ethics. I don't care what your boss is paying you or whatever, something like that. If you're out there being expected to condone violent behavior that could get people hurt, then you quit your job. This thing here, it's on those officials on the court. Because when you have the whistle, you can shut everything down you want to. Officials walk off the court, call the game done. There's no game.
Yeah.
That's thing. Go ahead, Wes.
I always keep going back to my dad, but he did that one time. There was a game he was officiating. It was I think it was a high school game, and they were basketball is supposed to. I know there's some, there's contact, but it's supposed to be a non-contact sport. You're not supposed to be, generally touching each other, grabbing each other.
What? Basketball?
Yeah, basketball.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
no. Okay.
Well,
I think basketball is a very contact sport, but I know it's not it shouldn't be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
punching.
it got to the point where there was a lot of elbows being thrown, and so he's like,
PSVR,
that's
buddy,
it.
by the
He's
way.
like, that's it. Game's over.
Mm-hmm.
Both sides forfeit, and he cleared the court. He cleared the stands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you bear responsibility as the official out there too.
Yeah.
And if it gets bad enough, you could probably be legally held responsible.
Yep.
And just saying, you really have got the officials set the tone of any sporting event, and that's why and that's why you also have to look at how they take their job, and especially when you're out there and you got everybody in the world yelling at you, the directors, the managers, the fans. It's really hard, but you have to do it. You have to assert your dominance and stand up for what's right.
I also think that there's this culture of winning at every cost, and I think that is, kind of a problem too. No matter what, I call it like the Karate Kid syndrome. Okay, you win the championship by breaking the other person's leg after you've been told, they were down or something like that. It's just, it's wrong. But I think there's just that whole attitude of, win no matter how. You just don't care. And you have those certain people that's their job. That's their job to get the penalties. Like, you have that one hockey player that's the enforcer that, he comes out on the ice when he needs to, you need to break someone's nose.
No.
Yeah, that's actually a bad thing too. Let me just ask Lindros. So.
Oh, I know it's a bad thing. I'm not, but it exists.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I finally found what I was looking for. Although not you two. But let me go. Yeah, we're talking about Caitlin Clark with that, buddy. Jess said the league directors of the league should have reprimanded her. I agree that all the officials should have been suspended too.
Yes.
And the fact that finally one of her teammates. But the other thing is, one of her teammates finally responded on the court. that's kind of doesn't say much about your teammates either in it, because that's the hardest thing is you just officials have no dominance because they don't assert themselves. Many times they're afraid to take a stand in front. Everybody yells at them for being too involved in the game or not enough in the game. That type of stuff. I want to win any cost. Anything at $100 get them. Well. And it doesn't. Buddy said, it doesn't help that they blame her for it too. ESPN today basically said she's the Larry Bird of the WNBA, deserves it for her trash talking celebrate. Okay, celebrate too. Then you know what? And I agree. Then let's get rid of trash talking out of all games.
Yeah, well, here's the thing.
Yeah,
he's not the first, and she's not the only one to be celebrating or even trash talking.
Yeah.
So you're not allowed to be happy
that Angel Reese piece of garbage. Does she deserve to get blindsided every play?
So you're not allowed to celebrate that you get a basket.
Yeah.
Well, at least she scored some more than Angel Reese.
So we all must be robots. Make the basket and then just continue to play. There must be no joy in this.
See, that's one thing as an official I never liked, especially where I've done it. And it's not supposed to be tolerated, but we had to deal with some of the coaches at times. Some of the worst are the church leagues. It really is. But okay, what do you want? I mean, like in this case, if they're actually blaming her for trash talking has become such an accepted part of American sports. And how many times have we had? How many fights have started? I do too. How many fights have started? All this other stuff, like we talk about the NFL. Act like you've been in the end zone before. Don't do all this other stuff. But how much trash talking has become ingrained in our sports, and then here your big 4-letter network decides to end up throwing out that.
It's because players have not been taught respect, and I think that's for so long. I mean, this isn't just something that just happened overnight. I mean, when the players don't have to respect their coaches, they don't have to respect the umpires, they don't have to respect the other team. You don't have to like them, but you need to. There's just this decorum that should be there. That it's just not expected now. I mean, you've always had the play, like I say, the enforcer. You've always had the player. You've had, even 50 years ago, you had football players, and they would trash talk under their breath and do a little psychological stuff, but they all didn't do it, and it just seems like everybody is doing it.
Yeah,
and I think,
that's.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it is. There's a difference. The trash talking now is different than what the trash talking was.
I will tell you, in 1950s, my dad was a high school all-state defensive end. He screwed up on play. He said G did and got a 15-yard penalty thrown on him just for saying that. So I do think that, there was stuff back then,
have you ever watched badminton?
It was truly contained on the field a lot better than it is nowadays. Oh, is it true? I don't know. Badminton, possibly.
No, it's
what about pickleball? Pickleball? Yeah. Well, I want to show some kind of
tennis. Woo! Yeah. That one, you don't want to be around with the talking on that one.
I know you. Well, let's show something funny here. I know Buddy Hepburn would appreciate this picture here too. This a couple of Mondays ago was the attendance in Miami. This is the Colorado Rockies and the Miami Marlins. The announced crowd at this downtown Miami on a Monday night at 7:00, 5,844 fans officially. When there might be 10 people in this little section down here. Outfield, upper deck, pretty much empty. Upper deck, empty.
Who is this?
This is the Miami Marlins. You remember where we went to South Florida years ago? Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
Now, when we went, they played up at Pro Player Park, Joe Robbie Stadium on the Miami-Dade, Broward County border, where the Dolphins play. Years ago, they destroyed the Orange Bowl, the site of the Orange Bowl in downtown Miami, and built this monstrosity because they insisted that people wanted to go to downtown Miami to watch Major League Baseball.
No.
Yeah,
It's an
so
odd looking stadium, also.
yes, it is plenty of glass, of course.
Yeah, that's what you want in a baseball stadium.
Yeah, exactly. 5,844. Wes, how about this? What do you think? Yeah, Buddy said my high school had more people in the stands for our games.
What makes me laugh about this?
Well, Bell said, can I say, I want to, he was talking about the trash talking. That's one thing. That's not what they do. That's not trash talking now. And to me, that's where it's gotten where you can say anything and you can be disgusting and it's okay because you're trash talking, you know, and that's when I talk about the respect. Is there's one thing saying, you know, your feet are made of clay or, you know, or whatever.
Oh no,
even if it's but you know, but it gets where it's way too personal now, and that's when I talk about
he's
they
agreeing.
don't have that respect anymore.
I think it's agreeing because see that's what's happened. That stuff is actually incited more anger and more agitation between players.
They make actual threat. I mean, I've heard them say, you know, I'll find your mom and you know, do this and that to her.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It gets very, very personal, and that's the problem. That's why you cut it off. But like Buddy said, there's a different.
But they'll say, "Oh, well, it's just the psychological part of the game."
Yeah. All right. I told you years ago it's part of the game, but then as I've gotten older, I realized, you know, it's leading to a lot more crap.
It's no longer hey batter.
Yeah. You swing like a girl. Yeah.
Swing.
Yeah. Or you swing like a girl or something like that. But yeah, Buddy said the documentary.
Hey, I've seen some girls hit.
I know.
I would like to see
got
like
a good.
Some of those girls.
You got a good swing with a softball, man. You
I
can hit
used
the ball.
to.
Yeah.
I don't. Not anymore.
Well, this, like I said, Larry Legend is amazing. He would tell you what he's going to do and do it. It's the defender's fault for not stopping him. That's how talented he was. I love that. Yeah.
Well, you know,
Buddy's right here. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You mentioned one of my dad's favorite sayings, you know, play like you know, when you score a touchdown, play like, you know, act like you've been there before. There were a few players, great players, two off the top of my head, that when they scored, they got in the end zone, generally, they just handed the ball to the ref and just went back. And that was the great Walter Payton and Barry Sanders. The two of them let their play do all the talking. So
absolutely, Buddy did things. I agree with Buddy actually on this. I actually agree with Buddy. I mean,
Orlando.
Look, 5,800 people for this. Yeah, it's like that's like crowds like their old minor league team that they used to have that played out in Disney. So, yeah. See, yeah, you can see. Yeah, it's
there's an attitude and there's rivalry, and you know, but flipping to me when I say respect, I mean you don't say things about their moms, their family. You know, they don't get, you know, talking, you know, just disgusting. You know, it's hard to explain, but I think you know what I mean. There's, you know, a decorum in trash talking. There's lines you don't cross. You don't talk about family. You don't talk about kids. You know.
But I also think that there's a difference in the sport because these are physical sports. You know, even basketball is physical, and when you start mixing the physical in with the emotions from the trash talking, it can get out of hand. Which gets back to the thing is, I think the officials have got to take it. Yeah, it is the culture. It is American sports culture. And I don't like it. I have not liked it for years.
Rugby, you know, it's not just the American sports culture. I mean, but, you know, people die at rugby matches.
Everybody's got it.
That's in the stands.
All right.
I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at somebody dying, but I'm just saying, I mean, it can be, you know, just as bad in other countries. So it's not just an American
you know, Belzette mentioned polo. I know that's the horse game, but I played water polo,
The horse
and
game.
it could be nasty. I played water polo, and there was one player who was really annoying me and this other guy, and he had a hold of the ball, and he wouldn't give it up. So
There was
my
something
buddy,
on
well, my buddy grabbed his legs, and I stood on his shoulders, and we held him under the water till he gave the ball up, and they threw us out of the game.
Why?
No.
I wonder why. At least I was waiting for, someone grabbed the legs and you need them in his,
Wow. Speaking on the Jeff is going to lurk. Jeff, I do before you lurk. Have you noticed the problems with the lag and other crap with Fortnite since you came in after that discussion, buddy? You too, because we've talked about that earlier. Really, really something. Because somebody on my Twitter that I tagged you on, Wes and Fallout Dave, said I've been having bad lag spikes forever now. I thought this update would have fixed it, but nothing. Somebody I don't even know chimed in on the tweet.
Oh, wow.
It's like, so it's bad out there. So, but Buddy has a cousin that plays water polo, always bruised and scratched up. Yeah,
Yeah, it can be
Wow,
my
nasty.
sister played volleyball and was bruised up terrible. And that's not even a contact sport.
Nope, unless your face contacts the ball.
Oh, yes, but anyway, I figured y'all get a kick out of 5,844 people announced crowd at a Monday baseball game recently. Jeff said
they're lying.
1 frame per second at 20. Yeah, JT and I thought about lag night. That's a great name for it. JT and I actually were thinking about when we were on the stream. We were talking about, well, let's see if we could get a better blown up picture. We were thinking about counting out how many people, because we're like, that ain't even 1,000.
Nope. Yeah.
Geez. Jess is saying it's been extra bad on lag today after the F9. Wow.
Yep. I'm gonna wait.
That's why I never play until it's like 2 months after the update.
Jeez, that's ridiculous. All right, well, let's play a little bit. We got about 30 minutes left when we're going to get out of here, but let's see. Mrs. has got an early start tomorrow too. Buddy has not gotten the lag. Had a couple of
I'm gonna Wi-Fi run to the bathroom real fast.
I'll where it freezes you for a bit, but then maybe there'd be too many people streaming stuff. See, but this is kind of like you though, or Fallout Dave, where you freeze and it's like 3 seconds later you pop up.
Yeah, I've experienced that on occasion. That's happened. I just accepted that as part of the game. Once in a while, that'll happen. It usually happens at the worst time. I'm in the middle of a firefight with somebody, and then when it resolves, I'm no longer in the game. But this is bad. This is not that. This is not the freezing every once in. This is a continuous lag where I input something and 3 seconds later it does what I told it, and I'm getting it's almost as if I'm only getting every 5th frame of gameplay. So it's bad, and I've not seen this before. So
okay, yeah, no, I see. Jess says she'll have to play some tonight. Which one about the the commercial Sports Center had players doing a move they knew would end up on the top 10 doing the dun. Patrick Kane had one where he continued after being shoved. Wow. But all these sports. I remember my oldest kid, I was playing flag football one week when we went to the next games, came home with a big old bruise on the leg. It's like, what the heck? Yep. It happens. So,
well, there's a difference between inconsequential, accidental, banging and stuff, and flagrant. I'm trying to take this person out because they've annoyed me.
Yeah. No. Now, see, Buddy said he's on the opposite coast, so it may be a different server connection. Because
I tried switching the connections because you can select that. Yeah, I went over to switch to the West Coast, and it didn't do anything.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
You want to play in a Middle East one?
Yeah, I thought about that too. Even.
Yeah, barely press a button with that great wanting to crash. That's a good one. Dave said it was never seen it until that day y'all played some matches together, and it seems to be just getting worse since. So
yeah, he's mentioned that he was having a lot of trouble that day, and I kind of noticed it by his gameplay. I'm like he's playing kind of erratic, and that explains it that it was so laggy that he wasn't getting the response time properly. So
you mean he was actually close to you? I'm kidding. Love you, Dave. I love it, but yes. I wonder if Lisa's still here because we'll try to get a couple of these stories in. You ready, Mrs.? Because I know you got a long day tomorrow.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, so we're gonna see about getting a. All right. All right, folks, we're gonna play the Great Wear in the USA. So this is where I give you a headline, and you tell me where you think the story. Hey, thank you, Dave. I'm glad. Oh, she's here. She heard. She's smiling. So, and Dave's like, "Thank you for laughing at that. I was kind of worried about that for a second." And of course, the default answer, Florida. All right, folks,
Florida.
I will give you.
I said Florida.
Okay, well, because Lisa's here, I have got to type it before I say anything.
Mute it, so she doesn't hear. Oh, wait, wait. Let me here. Wait. Here, wait. Wait 1 second. Don't do anything yet. Don't type anything yet. Okay, wait. We're gonna confuse her. Something fierce. Okay. You ready? Type.
Okay, done.
Okay.
Wow. Good thing Mr. Angel's not here tonight.
God, I tried doing that. Somebody was complaining on the stream I was on last night, and I said, "Oh no, 2 nights ago, Monday night," and they're like, "Oh, I hear that typing." I'm like, "You want to hear typing?" And I went to do that. I locked up my computer. I thought I broke it.
Oh God!
I actually typed the Declaration of Independence right then.
Hey, there you go. All right, folks.
The Gettysburg Address.
I will give you a headline. I will give you 3 states. Your job is to tell me where did this story happen. All right, you ready? Your headline.
Well, where are they at?
Well, I'm going to give the headline, then I will give the states.
Okay.
Man has dialed 911 16,000 times.
Oh my goodness.
Man has dialed 911 16,000 times. Did that happen in Florida, Georgia, or Alabama? Man has dialed 911 16,000 times. Mrs., what do you think?
It just sounds, it's probably Florida, but it just sounds so like something Alabama would do. 911. My refrigerator light turns off when I shut the door. 911. Yep.
Okay. All right. So is that your answer?
Yeah, I said Alabama.
Okay, just making sure. What about you, West? How do you?
Well, you can go 2 ways. You can go that this person's in a really bad area, so they call in a lot, like Atlanta, Georgia, or like the missus said, they're just not that bright, and they call 911 for everything from Alabama. So, without knowing a little bit more, it's kind of a 50-50 shot to guess which way. I'm gonna go with the moron way and side with the missus and say Alabama.
All right, 2 Alabamas. All right. Let's see. Follow Dave has already said Florida beforehand. West Cagle, Melbourne. You know, you're talking about Florida or Australia?
Australia, of course.
Lisa said Florida before we even gave the choices. So bounce at New York. Nice. Lemon Pie, Florida. Let's see. Buddy Hepburn said Florida, man. Balzette agrees with Alabama. All right. Connie Cleary says Georgia.
Yeah, I know everybody's expecting me to say New Jersey, but you know we're a little bit tougher than that. We don't call for everything, and we are stupid, but we're not that stupid.
Well, Lemon Pie says 16,000 times sounds like myth. Good point. Lisa said though, with the missus typing, I'm still sticking with Florida, the default state. Okay. That's cool. So, folks, if you have an answer, if you have any other guesses, we got a few guesses in here. I'll leave it open a few seconds more, and let me know what you think. Where do you think that this story happened? I'll read the headline one more time. Let's see. Get back to this. Where do we go here? Man has dialed 911 16,000 times. So, with 13 here, 12 on YouTube, and 1 on Twitch. Make sure, get your answers in. Jeff is coming back with Georgia. All right. I wonder, Jess, if you have an answer, but I know Jess is working too. So that's, Lisa got carried away. She answered twice or about your typing. So, All right, let's go. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, good. Yes, keep lurking. Yes, and listening. Thank you for playing, though, too. That's much appreciated. The more answers, the better. Florida man has dialed 911 16,000 times. Florida man.
That's what I said. That's what I said. It's probably Florida, but I'm going to go with something else.
Yeah, you guys just keep living up to your reputations down there in Florida. Come on, man.
It's because we don't give a crap. Come on.
Well, this story dates back to 2017. But Dave, all right. During the first 5 months of 2017, a 72-year-old Florida man had placed 3,400 calls to 911, pushing his 5-year total to 16,000 calls to the police emergency line, according to investigators who arrested the recurring caller for allegedly stalking a neighbor. Oh, okay. Lisa did. See, Lisa's using AI, folks. Yippee, though. She got it right. Yes. Yeah, Mrs. See, what was that again? Oh, Davis says Florida's proud of our crazy. Police last week.
We do. We work hard for our crazy.
Well, it gets better. I wish Snortapoopus was here because he'd be really proud of Pinellas County, which is where this comes from. Police responded to a 911 call claiming that someone was shooting an AR-15 rifle in the roadway outside the St. Petersburg residence. I see Snortapoopus has got to get on Body Clock with us again because all these stories. I did not screen this for Pinellas County, but when officers arrived at the home, they discovered a family barbecue with small children at play.
Oh my gosh!
Balzette said, "I'm from Alabama."
Small or slow?
Small children at play. Balzette said, "I'm from Alabama, raised here, but I'm not that stupid." Well, with regard to the reported gunplay, numerous neighbors advised that such an event did not occur, according to the police report. But the complainant who lived across the street from where the shooting happened disagreed. Police police records showed that the man dialed police 647 times to make complaints about the neighboring home. He has made allegations about narcotic sales, firearms usage, disorderly conduct, and suspicious activity. So the lady who lives at the targeted property told cops that the 911 calls had resulted in hundreds of interactions with police and that their neighbor frequently stops in front of their residence to yell obscenities at her and her family. So concluding that it was, quote, readily apparent that he was utilizing the police to maliciously harass her and her family for no legitimate purposes, cops busted him for stalking and false report of a crime. He was also charged with resisting arrest after allegedly tussling with officers when they tried to handcuff him. She wanted to press charges against him because she was fearful that the constant police calls could escalate into a potential dangerous situation, adding that her family had already suffered a severe emotional distress. Oh, wow. It gets better. It
gets better. Ooh, okay.
Yep, he does. Yep, get off my lawn. Okay, well, here we go. His telephonic proclivities extend beyond her household. According to a criminal complaint, he had made approximately 3,400 calls to the police this year, 16,000 calls within the 5 years. The complaint does not detail the nature or target of those additional 911 calls, but indicates that, with regard to him, there's no indication of mental health issues, drug, or alcohol influence. So basically, he pled not guilty to 3 misdemeanor charges. His rap sheet includes multiple battery convictions, as well as convictions for DUI, pot possession, disorderly intoxication, passing bad checks, violating probation, failure to return rented merchandise. That's a wow.
What was it?
Failure to return rented merchandise. I wonder if he put Blockbuster out of business. Yes, wait, there's more. Like
there's more?
Late night commercials.
There's more?
Yes. In a brief conversation with the Smoking Gun, he said, quote, "I don't know nothing about stalking." adding that his calls to police were about neighborhood nuisances. So
God.
there you go.
Yeah, no, it's nothing to do with drugs or man. This is like what was her what the heck was her name from Gladys Kravitz or something, the nosy neighbor next door from
from Bewitched. Yeah.
That is crazy though. I'm like,
yeah, can't keep your mind your own business,
yeah. All right. Well, we'll go on to a second story here. Yeah. I think this is the blonde chick up north. Basically the same thing. Tried to claim she was a brain surgeon and had a cop as a boyfriend. Look, there's all kinds of crazy out there. We had one a while back about a lady that stripped down on an airplane, and it was really, really interesting. All right. So we shall go on to the next story that we have tonight. Okay, Mrs., it's time for you to do your magic.
Give me a second. Yeah, give me a second. Okay.
Yeah.
It's subterfuge.
Okay, got it. Yeah. All right. We are here. We are back with our new Lisa prevention detective, our Lisa ESP blocker tonight. But all right, here's your next headline. You ready?
News.
Man, 25 years old, rings in New Year with belly flop onto windshield of police car. Man, 25, rings in New Year with belly flop onto windshield of police car. Did this happen in Illinois, Ohio, or Wisconsin? Or as Lisa said before I even said Pisconsin.
I think she was mentally acute already to your
I don't know.
wavelength.
I know it's Bowsette said California, or even the villages west. That's great. Jeez. So here's your choices here. So Illinois, Ohio, or Wisconsin. West. Man, 25, rings in New Year with belly flop onto windshield of police car. Where do you think this happened?
Wow. I would have not guessed either of these, or any of these three. But wow. I mean, it's this is. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Wisconsin, just because I just threw me for a loop. I was not expecting these three states for that story. I don't know.
Okay, so you're going Wisconsin.
Mm.
Okay, Mrs., how about you?
I don't know. I'll say Ohio because it has high in it.
Okay, that's a good reason.
Probably was high when he belly flopped on the car.
Okay, so Mrs. says Ohio because he's high. Wes says Wisconsin.
Well, he had to be high up too, didn't he?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Ohio. Well, I guess he didn't have to be. He could have just stood on the car and belly flopped. You're right.
Well, Lisa's already screaming. She's sticking with her answer, Pisconsin. So, Buddy did. I remember that. The lady astronaut who drove across the country while wearing NASA diapers to deliver me and supposed girlfriend is the favorite. Yeah. She drove nonstop.
Yeah, that was crazy.
She drove nonstop. That's crazy. Well, Jeff agrees with Pisconsin. So, hey, I'm not sure. We'll have to see if this does it. But Bowsette says Ohio. Fallout Dave says Wisconsin, the crazy cheeseheads.
Yeah.
Pie says Ohio. Buddy says Ohio, actually.
Yeah, we've got Wisconsin and Ohio here. Nobody going with Illinois.
I know. Everybody, come on, Jess, vote for your own state. But no, it's like, all right, we'll give it a few more seconds to see if we get any more answers. But yeah, it's interesting. Okay, well, we give it in 5. We still got we got 16 people here hanging out. Thank y'all for hanging out with us late tonight. Good to see y'all. We'll be back next Wednesday night. Next Friday, maybe. Friday, we may. It depends what's going on, but definitely plan to be back next Wednesday night. Yeah, West.
You highlighted that comment from Lisa. Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
I've said this before. I know I've said this before. I waited my whole life to be able to sit on the porch and yell, "Kids, stay off my lawn." I ordered. It should be there when I get back home. I ordered a brand spanking new, really nice rocking glider so that I can sit out there on cushion comfort and yell at the kids to stay off my goddamn lawn.
Yes, well, I'll tell you, those gliders are nice. We sit them, and Mrs. sister and brother have them. Those glider chairs, Mrs.
Yep. Comes with a gliding ottoman too. So
Jess said, "Did I hear my name? Sorry, we're ordering at the Culver's window right now, so I'm not hearing clearly." Yeah, Jess, we had Illinois, Wisconsin, or Ohio. Man rings in New Year with belly flop on the windshield of police car.
I did find it. I was looking to see if there was a video somewhere.
Please, I like 2 butterburgers, please. Jeff, Dave says. All right, which we about 9 years ago, about 8 years ago, about that. So, but if you heard enough, just put an answer.
Oh my gosh, they do have a video of it.
Wow. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Sniper the Duck, X-Steady Sniper. It is hot as hell down here in Florida right now.
Pretty warm up here.
Yeah, exactly. It's hit the summer and we're all hot and sweating. All right, are we ready for the story?
We're ready.
All right. Man, Man 25 rings in New Year with belly flop onto windshield of Wisconsin police car.
Yes.
Okay, can I show the video while you read the story?
Well, no, let's watch let me read the story. Well, let's do either or. Do you want to show the video?
No, go ahead. It's okay, go ahead.
Victory, Alaska Jeff.
Story so we can get context for the video.
Okay.
It doesn't give you really any context. I've already read it.
Well, go ahead and play the video, miss.
No, go ahead. Just read it.
Okay. A 25-year-old Wisconsin resident rang in New Year by performing an exquisite belly flop atop the windshield of a police cruiser. And this one had dash cam footage. So
I've never heard a belly flop.
Yeah, Mrs. Go ahead and play it now. Do it now, because
I've never heard a belly flop be called exquisite.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
I'm not doing. You can't hear the audio, but you can just watch the beauty of. That's it, guys.
Good Lord.
There's the video.
Oh God! Play it one more time. Play it. Go back again. Go back to the beginning of it. Ready? Hit play. Batman.
Bang, pow, boom.
Okay.
God, that's hilarious. Too much cheese beer. Yes. Isn't that special?
Oh God.
Yeah. All right. Jeff said 10 of 10 on a belly flop, so it must be special. By the way, Jeff said the flavor of the day is turtle dove at the one that opened across the street from Walmart Monday.
I'm so glad we're not close to a Culver's. I would be in trouble.
I know we all would be.
Culver's and Wawa's and Buc-ee's. I'm glad we're not near any of them.
Yeah, but we will drive 40 minutes till.
Yeah, but then you have to make an effort to do that. It's
not when I say, do you want to go buy Van shoes? Then but
we got Wawa's all over the place here. So, and as a matter of fact, the other night at about 2:00 in the morning, I'm like, I'm hungry. Wawa's still open. I go get a sandwich. I'm
hungry right now. I had to get some more of that soup before bed. Mrs. made a big hearty soup tonight. So, but okay, the 25-year-old Wisconsin resident rang in the New Year by doing an exquisite belly flop atop the windshield of a police cruiser. For some reason, he charged a stationary squad car shortly after midnight. After he reached the vehicle's front end, he launched himself into the air. Upon landing, he smashed the windshield of the cruiser, which was occupied by a Menasha Police Department police officer. After a scuffle with cops, he was taken into custody and transported to a local hospital for treatment, then booked into the county jail on multiple charges, including battery to a law enforcement officer, disorderly conduct, and criminal damage to property. Investigators say that he had been drinking prior to his ill-conceived execution of the belly flop in Menasha, a city about 35 miles south of Green Bay.
I was muted. Okay. You think he was drinking?
Yeah, shocker there.
Yes.
He was drinking, and I guarantee his buddies are like, "Yo, man, go belly flop that police cruiser."
I bet you can't do it.
Hey, Steve, good to see you tonight. How are you doing? Yes. All right. So, well, exactly. Well, he works as a customer service manager at Walmart. Of course, it's 8 years ago, so he probably doesn't. But this is the picture.
Oh, no, I've already deleted it, honey.
No, sorry. I got confused here. I'm actually trying to share my screen. That's what I'm trying to do.
I forgot to remove this, and let me stop this. And
yeah, this is the damage to the car. This is what he did to the car.
Well, you could kind of see it when his belly hit it.
Yeah, but look how, I mean, that's a hell of an impressive jump to get that far up and over
he cleared the hood
of the car. Yeah. I would have hit the front of the hood. I would have, so.
In my day, I would have been, in order to do that kind of stunt and goaded on, I would have probably been 12 sheets to the wind. I probably would have launched way too soon and missed the hood entirely.
Just bashed your face on the grill.
Yep.
I know. That's hilarious. So, did they buy the car from Temu?
God.
Oh. Yeah, exactly. Front of the hoof and kiss the glass. Yeah, but he landed straight on the glass. Though that
his
was
belly.
He got some good air. He got some good air,
like Michael Jordan. So
that was impressive. He was a pretty big guy too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was not a petite fellow.
Nope.
Yeah.
He was deceptively fast.
Now, here's the mug shot, actually.
Well, he doesn't. He's muscular because he doesn't look fat in that picture.
He's got a bit of mug shot. There's the scrape on his head. So,
he's 25. Yeah, so he probably could. Yeah.
So, Mrs., I have one more story, but you need to bail out.
I do need to go. I'm getting tired, and I got to get up early.
Okay.
So, thank you, everybody, so much for. Well, we're not leaving, so I'm just bye. I'm tired. All of a sudden, I'm like, Florida.
Yeah, sometimes you end up just hitting the wall.
I'm getting Jerry Lewis brain.
Well, at least if you don't mind, at least listen a little bit on the way out. You can participate from the chat on your way to bed because you're going to like this last story.
I'm going to be in the same room that you're going to be in, so I will hear it.
Yep. Well, Mrs., why don't you go ahead and promote yourself for your no show tomorrow?
Thank you for saying promote. I appreciate that. Tomorrow at 5:00, I will be doing some Fortnite unless I get really, really tired, and then I'll be sleeping. But I have that, and on this Friday, I have my morning show at 10. At 2:00, I'm going to be at Agent Atwood Gaming. He's going to be playing part 2 of The Last of Us, and I will be commentating. And at 7:00, I will be doing my ornament stream that I normally do at 1:00, but we had to move that around a little bit.
And that's Friday?
That's Friday. And then the midnight movie. I wish I knew who told me this movie. It's going to drive me crazy. We're going to be watching Twilight of the Warriors Walled City. I heard it. They said it had some amazing fight scenes in it. And so.
All right. So we got a busy Friday because if I end up doing a 10:00 show, then, man, it's going to be busy.
It's going to be busy. It's going to be busy.
But we like busy.
Oh, and I've moved my cartoons from at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Why? Because it was killing me having to get up to do the cartoons at 10 a.m. after doing the movie at midnight and then doing the 10:00 show.
Right. So. All right. Well, hey, there's the miss. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. It was fun. Thank you, West Bagel. Thank you, Dadman. I'll be listening. I'll be listening in the bedroom. Just only to Dadman, though.
Yeah. So. We're almost done, but hey, this last story will be fun. All right. Love you. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Okay. Love you too. Bye, everybody.
Bye. All right. There's the great Mrs. that's right here. Dave said, get some sleep. You're silly. So, yeah, Steve said, break passing out is a terrible thing to waste. Yes. Love, I'm going to be a dad meme. So, all right. We still got 14 on YouTube and one on Twitch. Thank you for everybody for hanging out this late night. We appreciate it. All right. Let's do one more story. I'm going to, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Here we go. We're going to go with Illinois, Ohio, and New Jersey with this one.
Oh, God.
All right. There we go. All right. All right. Illinois, Ohio, New Jersey. Woman seeks trademark for, quote, I can't breathe, end quote, dying New York man's final words. Woman seeks trademark for, quote, I can't breathe, end quote, dying New York man's final words. This is in Illinois, Ohio, or New Jersey? Oh, look at that. West Kegel land, the New Jersey, the second default. So what do you think, Wes?
God, I know what she was trying to quote, and I know what she was trying to trademark, and we did not appreciate that nonsense here in either New Jersey or New York. So we're not fools. So it's either Illinois or Ohio. I'm gonna say it's them fools in Illinois because it's got to be Chicago and Illinois. They are the worst. They are some of the worst when it comes to this nonsense.
Oh, so
just saying. Let's put it out there.
Oh, you're going Illinois. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's okay. Well, let's see people in the chat. Balzat posted the video in the meme section. Nice. Let's Kegelland. Lisa go with New Jersey, the second default. Steve says Ohio. Hey, Peter Venkman fan site. Good to see you tonight.
Hey.
How are you doing? Good to see you. Going with Jersey. Alaska Jeff said New Jersey, and Balzat said New Jersey also. Dave says it sounds like Joyzy.
Wow, they're all going Jersey. It's the one time I didn't. Well, Jersey's a choice, and I didn't pick it.
I know, it's crazy. Connie said Jersey too. I forgot. I'll have to show it to her later. My bad. I mean, yeah, Jess sent me certain other flavors of ramen. It's really eclectic, I will say, what they are doing with ramen these days. So. Oh, Lisa said typing was much smoother for New Jersey. Typing was very slow until then. All right. So good to see everybody here tonight. All right.
Well, the typing is slow because of all that lag.
Yeah. Look good. Peter Venkman fan site. Yes. Good. I'm glad you're doing okay. Hope hope everything's good with weather and everything where you are, and look forward to talking to you more one day. Lisa's laughing at us. So, okay. All right. We got 18 people. I mean, we're going to have to keep going, Wes. I don't think we got, it's like people keep coming in. It's like, this is how the Squirrel Stream started years ago for about an hour and a half. Then next thing it's 6 hours later. Yeah. Because, people just kept coming and stuff like that.
Well, they're here to see Florida Man. And the fool from the monkey in the zoo in New Jersey. So
the monkey in the zoo. I don't think I've heard about the monkey in the zoo in New Jersey. Yeah.
Not the monkey in the zoo.
Well, us New Jerseyans, we just we fling poo at everything. So.
Oh, you fling poo at everything. Yeah, I gotcha. That's pretty good. Well, the monkeys do two things. It's either they fling poo or they
play with themselves.
Exactly. Miss and I were at the zoo when our kids were small, and this kid just screamed to this boy, to his mom, like, "Look, Mom, that monkey's playing with himself."
Yeah, they do two things.
Mrs. just said he's a well-endowed monkey. You just pick it up and drop it. So.
Well, my favorite book is about the the zoo. Brown spots on the wall by Who Flung Poo.
I guess that's what we have around here. We pay weekly, very weekly. So, hey, Wes. All right, let's go ahead and let's get the story over. Then we can either wind up. This is kind of funny. I stayed on with Marty with the C till like 2 a.m. the other night, 2:30, and I'm like, it
saw that.
It caught me for 2.5 days. For 2 days later, it's like, oh. Yeah, the pay is weak. Yep. God, 19 people. Holy cow. It's like amazing. All right. Let's get to the story. All right. Shall we?
Yes.
Yeah, Wes will be here all week, but I'm just. Don't forget to tip your waitress,
Yes.
until Lisa takes the tip off the table. But, okay, here we go. Woman seeks trademark for, quote, I can't breathe, end quote, dying New York man's final words. An Illinois woman. This dates back to 2014. Illinois woman seeking to trademark the dying last words of a New York man who grasped, I can't breathe, while being arrested by New York Police Department cops for selling loose cigarettes.
Yep.
She filed an application to register the phrase for use on hoodies and t-shirts for men, women, boys, girls, and infants. She lives in Waukegan, 40 miles north of Chicago, contends that she has been using I can't breathe for commercial purposes since at least as early as August 18th, 1 month before, the incident that happened in Staten Island. So yeah, Lisa got one wrong. Yay. 3 noise. Chicago nut. Yeah, I lose. Yes.
Oh, yep.
There we go. So not to go into the article, what happened in New York, but basically in an interview with regards to her, in an interview, she said that she had nothing to do with the incident and had not spoken to them about the family about the trademark bid, while claiming that her purpose for marketing I Can't Breathe garments was not to make money. She declined to disclose what other reason there was for her trademark filing, which cost $325. It was like,
yep.
I mean, what other reason would you do anyway? It gets better. Oh my God, what is with these people? Yeah, Lisa said it's Illinois is tricky to spell. Cough medicine had her beat by decades. Yes. Oh, Steve does clarify. Don't tip your waitress. She may sue for physical harm.
Oh.
Oh God.
Is that like is that like waitress tipping? Is that like cow tipping?
Yeah, sort of like that. Forgot which brand though. Hey, probably Vicks or Halls. Who knows? But 3 similar entrepreneurs have filed to trademark the phrase "hands up, don't shoot" for use on clothing items. And those were filed within that incident in Missouri. So, but yeah, I mean, why would you? I mean, I guess I could see why people might have claims on that or want to file it. I mean,
they're trying to make a buck.
Yeah, but I mean, even irrespective of the incident that happened.
Smiley is trademarked, I think.
What's trademarked?
Smiley. Or because there's the smiley face, they're trademarked.
Yeah.
And this company, I think it's smiley.com or something, who has all of it. They actually sue people for using that word in descriptions.
Wow.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's a big deal, trademarks.
Yeah,
some are ridiculous. Some are ridiculous.
I'm just sitting here laughing because I'm
like, it's like it's like the big blow up. God, this has got to be 10 years now back when the Fine Brothers tried to trademark the term React and the entire genre of React on YouTube. With all the React videos. I'm like, really?
Oh, that?
Really?
I mean, that's just it's just a word. It's just a.
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy. But by the way, I'm just that was too funny. I mean, I'm sitting here, we're talking, and the voice from behind. See, so you never know, folks. Whenever I'm live and she goes to bed, you might hear a voice just coming back. It's like, thank you, Mrs. Are you asleep now? Okay, there you go. So, wow,
well,
what fun, Wes.
She's not asleep.
No, she's not. I mean, that's how she'll stay up later. It's like, hey, but she'll participate. You never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, probably we're at 2 minutes. Damn. We're over 2 hours, West.
We've been going for 2 minutes now, Dad, man.
I know. No, she's not sleep talking. She's wide ass awake right now. So
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, nebulous trademarks don't do anything for industry.
No, they don't.
No. But one thing with trademark law, like that's why the mouse gets so protective at times. Is you have to actively defend your trademarks and your patents, because if you don't, you can lose the right to it. They're required
True.
to
Yeah.
defend. I mean, it was sometimes it's very annoying. You wonder why they're doing this or whatever. Okay, Jeff, thank you for coming by and hanging out so long. Good to see
Whatever,
you
Jeff.
tonight. Yeah,
Later on.
um, because they technically could lose it in court later on.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
if they're not, if they don't defend it properly.
Yeah, but it gets ridiculous when they start suing people who are just doing fair use stuff. I mean, they're not,
Yeah.
they're not infringing on your copyright. I mean, there's a balance in there that needs to be, but it's strange.
Well, listen, the whole thing on YouTube where everybody's scared to use anything of anything, a clip here, there. I mean, you talk over what's transformative and what's fair. I mean, it seems like to common people that fair use is a fairly easy term to use, but then again,
Yeah.
you never know. It's arbitrary and capricious sometimes when they decide to, either shut your channel down or say you didn't do something or whatever. So
Yep.
yeah,
About that's right. The Band-Aid and Xerox both do the same
yeah.
thing. I mean, they don't. You have to call everything else. What is it? Adhesive bandages.
Right, right. Sorry, my computer's deciding to buffer in a second, so I was trying
That's
to pull
cool.
the comment up. So
Yep. Yep.
you may
Yep.
be
Yep.
you may be in charge in a minute. So you never
God.
know. Well, we've hit
Don't put
12
me in
a.m.
charge. Why don't you put her in charge?
I love that movie. Speaking of aliens, that was the only alien movie of the whole Alien series I really liked.
Really? Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I loved
See,
it. I loved it too. I loved it as much as the first one, but they're two different movies. That's in my
yes,
opinion. They are
I
very different.
I never watched Alien until last year for the first time, and it was in the theater, which was good. But it seemed dated to me now compared to what
Yeah.
it would have been at the time. I'm sure at the time it was like state of the art. It
Mhm.
was like
Oh, it's worlds. Oh, we lost that man, but he's right. It is worlds different. It is worlds different. Alien is much slower paced, and Aliens is the the Cameron experience. It is flashy. It is fast paced. It is action packed. So it is very different. Very very different. But hopefully, we will get Dadman back because you do not want a fool from New Jersey in charge of your stream for more than maybe 5 minutes. So, but oh, so you saw both at an early age. I saw Alien when I was younger because obviously it came out first. It came out in '79, and then I saw. So actually, they were both good because Alien was when I was younger. Came out in '79, so I was around 10 years old, and so it was great for scaring a little kid. And I saw Aliens when I was closer to a teenager when you wanted all the action. So but that's awesome. Yeah, Fallout Dev. Yes, I took over. I have banished Dadman to the nether regions. So, but but yeah, no. Um, if you look at the Aliens franchise, the first three movies, all three are different. All three are very different. The first one's is a horror movie. The second one is an action movie, and the third one is a disaster. So, but that's just my opinion. And I have many of them. Not of them, all of them are good, but they're my opinion, so I stick with them. Oh, so you saw the first one when you were like 6? Yeah, 6 or 7 is man, that'll scar you. There are scenes in there that can scar a 6 or 7-year-old. But that is funny. Um, well, it's not funny that you get scarred. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. What I meant to say was it's funny that we've lost Dad Man, and now this show has now become the West Kegel show. But hey, we may not get Dad Man back because it has been some time now, and I am now going to have to rely on the chat. Least I've run out of things to talk about. Um, Let me see. Alien. So in early '80s was the first two. Yes. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the entire franchise. I did not mind some of the other one. The third one was bad. I did not mind Resurrection. It was all right. It's okay. It had its moments, and the other things when it became like um Prometheus is kind of a aliens movie, but I was not really a fan of Prometheus. I was more of a fan of of what was that one? Oh, Covenant, which was kind of linked to Prometheus. I actually enjoyed Covenant quite a bit, so not bad, not bad at all. Um, let's see here. Alien Isolation is a game I've heard about. I've not heard. I've not, you know what? I have to tell you the truth. I've not played any of the video games from the franchise. I've only watched the films, but so I can't speak to the games of the franchise, and I can't speak to all the films because I did not watch the Alien versus Predator film, so I don't, I can't speak to those. But I mean, they could be good. Not sure. Um, Fallout Dave says that's the only one I've heard about. It's kind of a classic. Oh, and he is back. Thank God, because I was running out of things to say. Although he has not got the audio going yet.
No, I had
So
myself muted
there you
because
go.
I was
Oh,
sitting
there
here
you go.
cussing. I was sitting here cussing so much in the background with this damn piece of shit with its like going break. And I just was saying it, and it's like right after 12, it decides to take this buffering coffee break. Had to do task manager, threatened to shut the whole thing down, but it came back. But yeah, trademark protections. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Talking
we
about
talked
lag.
about
That's so funny
that's
about
just
all the
the ultimate
lag while
lag.
that happens. Yeah,
That was
about
the ultimate
Alien.
lag.
The first one was more psychological sci-fi horror, and
Yes,
when I was
we spent the
younger,
last couple minutes talking about
yeah,
the Alien franchise. So
I was not into psychological sci-fi back then. It really, and of
well, that's
course,
what I
as
said.
you,
I said the first three you've got they're all very different. You got the first one's like a horror movie, the second one's
mhm,
an action adventure movie, and the third one is trash. So,
yeah,
um,
exactly, and they didn't get any better after that. Who put you in charge? That was a nice alien line. Squirrel Stream Takeover. Dave is laughing. Body horror. Uh, Oh, Bounce That Saw first one at 6 or 7. Dave
yeah,
has an alien game and wants to stream. Go for it. That's cool. So in the
cool.
early 80s, the first two are the best. Third is okay. Yeah.
Mm,
I loved Aliens. I loved the action. I loved the fighting, just the cool stuff like
yeah,
that. Lisa,
Resurrection was
it's the West
yeah.
it's the West Kegel show.
Yes, it was. It was for a little while there.
So does your
Yeah, third one was
does,
meh.
does your new glide lawn chair have cup holders?
Um, no, no, I've got to keep the beer on the ground next to it, and then just make sure I don't kick it over when I get in and out. So,
There you go. Dadman and Friends, welcome back.
you know what
Fighting
does
for
have a cup holder though?
yeah.
The riding lawnmower, which to me sounds
Yes.
dangerous.
Yes, I like the riding lawnmowers. That's cool. Simply Steve said timeline is Prometheus. Oh, in terms of the timeline, Prometheus, Alien Covenant. See, I never watched Alien Covenant because I watched Prometheus and I was so I didn't get that piece of crap movie. I was like,
Yeah, I didn't like Prometheus as much either.
but Alien Covenant said it could be better. I don't know, but I
Alien
haven't.
Covenant to me,
Yeah.
uh,
Hmm.
of all these ones were mentioned here, and I admit I haven't seen a couple of them. It's to me it's Alien in
Hmm.
order. Alien number one, Aliens number two, and then Alien Covenant. I
I'll have
liked
to
Alien Covenant a
I'll
lot.
have to try that then. I'll have to try it because I gave up after Prometheus, but yeah, I think in the Alien Covenant we learn more about the android guy and what he was
Yeah,
doing
it
too with
it
it.
ties in with Prometheus, but it stays far more true to the Alien story than Prometheus did. So.
Okay, yeah, because that whole thing about gods and stuff like that, it just
Mm-hmm.
that kind of lost me.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we're back up to 17 people now. That's crazy. So, well, we'll talk about this for a minute or two, but I do need to go to bed probably soon. Belzette said squirrel plate isolation. Oi, Stunning's here. Good to see you,
Oi,
Stunning.
oi, oi.
Yes,
We had Melbourne before. I mentioned Melbourne. So
yeah, and
that was
Lisa
for
said
him.
no, send it back. Stunning just got here.
Ooh.
I think she's talking about something else. So, um. Oh, Bassett said you should be VTubing Squirrel and play Alien Isolation.
No, no. What YouTube does not need is me streaming regularly.
Well, have you thought about streaming regularly?
Good
Have you ever
Lord, good
considered it?
Lord. One of two things would happen. Well, one of three things would happen. YouTube would be shut down. I would be arrested, or the world would implode. One of those three things might happen. So,
Well, I don't know. But look, the world survived me starting and going. So, but yeah, I think you do good, West. Have you ever decided to try it? I think you do a
well,
good job with it.
I've often thought. I actually thought the other day, just last night before the improvement to Fortnite, I thought, well, maybe I'll start streaming some of these wacky things that I do on Fortnite because it has got to be hysterical to somebody. And lo and behold,
Yeah.
now I can't do it because there's so much lag.
Well, it's like that's why do you think I do what I do? I mean, I take Fortnite serious at times, but it's just like it's about screwing around, having fun, and seeing what kind of crazy stuff happens, and it just happens naturally, and that's bring people laughter and joy. By the way, you could call it the Protect Your Nuts Show. Nice, Dave.
I blame. Let me go down to the patent office. I'm going to trademark that.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, and Dave also said you think the aliens could get around space, they'd fix the drooling problem.
Oh, yeah, true.
See, I do agree. Prometheus was just weird. It's like they introduced the space jockey, without it. It was like, and
I
then
like
the demigod, these god thing. That hated me. It was like I don't know. I was like seemed like it was too big unless you had a lot more familiarity with the alien lore. I mean, which I didn't. It was just like I came in and I didn't get any of that or what they're trying to communicate.
I liked it better when I understand everybody wants to know. They have the insatiable need to know when there's like things hinted at, like in the Alien movie with the space jockey. I liked it better though when we were left to guessing. Oh my God, what is it?
Yeah, I think I got confused with the space jockey. I think there were some references because I know Bowsette said the space jockey was in the first movie, but the gods part that just I just didn't get the connection. It tied into religions and ancient astronaut theory.
Yeah,
but for me, I don't know. Maybe I was expecting more about the aliens. I don't know what it really was. But
the only Bowsette, the only comics I have for the Alien franchise is Aliens Earth Wars. So I don't know as far as the comics anything else other than that. I have them somewhere still in the garage somewhere.
Oh yeah, aliens. Yeah, I had Shogun Warriors, but I didn't take care of them.
No, the comics. I have there's comics called the Aliens Earth Wars. I have to look it up to see if they're worth anything.
Well, I do have the alien. I do have the Shogun Warriors comics too. That's what I'm saying is I really regret that I didn't take care of them. Then you got the Fervent Believer, which I think was that female scientist believing that humanity was invited, not being, but they were actually being told to stay away. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Of course, roll down your windows. Stunning has a mega coming. So, yeah, you got to read the comics. Bowsette said so. Yeah, Oh yes, Lisa is right. Stunning's squeaky chair is horrible, worse, and rolling down the windows is not enough to save you. But yeah, I guess I was disappointed or so lost. Yeah, it's a prequel to about aliens, about the birth. Yeah. But that's why I guess I just couldn't make any of the connections, and at that point I shut down, got overwhelmed. And it's kind of cool if you watch something like that acting with somebody that can help explain the holes and stuff, that you may be missing or can't quite put together. So it's but yeah, so that's why I got the Deacon at the end. Which one was the Deacon?
Deacon was the hybrid. It was like a proto alien, a xenomorph thing. It didn't quite look like the xenomorph, but in Prometheus. It was the first thing that we saw on that planet that actually looked like something we remember from the Alien franchise. So I think it was kind of like foreshadowing what was to come, kind of thing.
Wow.
But I write off Prometheus. I mean,
Just like I tell everybody, sometimes you just got to beat me upside the head with something. I'm like the missus is sometimes like, I don't get it. She's like, "Are you that dense?" I said, "Yes."
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
I have a limit to how much I can read. I mean, I have people send me stuff and like, whether it's music or this or that, I don't do well with interpreting things with messages, books, material, stuff like that. So it's usually having to get more of a, just be direct with me, don't make me assume, because usually when I have to assume or if I have to interpret what is being said, I'm usually wrong more than I am right. So exactly. About that said, then the Sandus lady becomes a lady in the dark that all possessed people see. I maybe we'll go back and watch that one again. I think I'd watch it with Covenant right after that, though. But the Deacon becomes a living mountain. We'll never understand that. So
I didn't know that. I mean, I know that the scientist lady from Prometheus shows up in Covenant.
right.
She doesn't really show up. They see her on a transmission. The crew of the Covenant. So I think that's the name of the ship in that one. I think it's called the Covenant.
I think so too. Yeah. Okay. I think I remember seeing a few scenes and previews with it. That's why I'm kind of familiar with her popping up in there for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But
She's singing one of John Denver's great songs.
Country Roads.
Yeah.
Oh wow, there you go. That Country Roads. Yes. So we got to do more karaoke on a Saturday night soon coming up.
Oh God. Well, I've already gotten all I need to get out of karaoke. Dadman singing The Reflex. So.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Just for you, Wes Cagle.
Sir.
Just for you. I got more in the down the road coming up. So we shall see how that goes. So she gets deeply tied to the lore, and of course, her remains. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, I didn't want to go too much into it because I don't want to spoil anything that people may not have seen. I know it's an older movie, but it's not super old. I mean, people may not have seen it and want to see it.
Yeah,
the Reflex. Oh.
The Reflex. Yeah, that's a good name for it. The Reflex. As a lonely child dancing by the park. It's all good. It's all, it's what it is. But hey, all right. Well, let's see. We got more topics if you want.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When we got plenty of new topics, we can even circle around to old ones because this is a squirrel, so we glance over things and things get left behind without fully exploring them. So
that's what's so freaking crazy about that stupid sell the Lakers. We started that early and it came back to it 40 minutes later. It's like
yep.
Stunning does not watch these movies. Yeah. Dancing in the park. He leaves you with a question mark. What? Okay, well, you never know. There could be random voices in the night as this happens. Oh God. Oh man, yeah. As long as I don't stay up to 2:30, because I gotta get up about 7. So as long as I usually say if I get 5 to 6 hours sleep, I'm okay to function at work.
Yeah. 5 or 6 is the minimum. Yeah, you need that. Yeah.
And just it was like the other night 2:30. I was like, oh crap, and then it became 4 hours sleep, and there was like, it caught me a couple days because we're actually busting up. It's getting a lot more intense trying to wrap up one of these projects, and it's a big one. And of course, now they're writing me to get done early. It's like,
well, you know,
you can't rush some things, you know.
No,
some things are like fine wine, you know.
Yep. Well, you can get away. You can get away once in a blue moon, where you only get 3 hours, in there. But if once you do that, and then you've got to play some catch up. You've got to spend a couple of nights where you're getting a full 8 to 10 there to make up.
It got me for 2 days. I know exactly. Crazy night. I know about Betty Davis eyes. That's some. Bazette also said back people that live too long before turning see the lady in the dark and go insane. Either they turn after that or become the creators of the architect aliens. They are the ancients. Yeah. And that there are hundreds of videos on YouTube that explain this. Okay. I just haven't had a chance to look, but yeah, that's interesting to know that there is stuff that explains this, and that, it is for a point, This is so easy to figure out, to just assume it's just a movie, nothing makes sense, just write it off, or it's stupid. But a lot of times, if you take time to look at it, there are possible things that make sense, that actually are can actually expand a property and make more sense than before. I just have always been in the Alien franchise. I think Aliens was the first, because it was the first one I watched, and because of all the guns, and I like my bang bang pew pew. That's what's always got me in trouble with a lot of the Star Trek people, is that I like my bang bang pew pew. That's why I was always more of a Star Wars person.
I say this all the time, and I don't make any apologies for it. You like what you like, and I respect you for liking what you like. I may not like it, but hey, if it makes you happy, it brings you joy, that you like it, great. It's fantastic.
Yep, I agree. And I do struggle with that, even with the modern Star Wars stuff, especially these people that will not be mentioned in the chat that insist that Darth Maul lives. The son of a bitch. Anyway,
you opened it up.
I know, damn son of a bitch.
Well, he's not half the Sith he used to be. So
no, he's not. He becomes an arachnid, I guess. So yeah. So see, and that's the thing. Neat action, understandable. Yeah, with the pew pews, and that's where the thing that I had the difference between Trek and Star Wars was. I was exposed. I was a kid, so in it.
Lisa, yeah.
Fly kite, but it's like but when I think that had something to do with it. I fell in love with the bang bang pew pew at an early age, and so that's where I went with it. Whereas Star Trek was the more. I mean, I'm sitting there watching Star Trek as a kid. I'm like, why the hell don't they just friggin' why don't they friggin' just shoot those damn phaser guns? They got the damn phaser guns. Just shoot them. Shoot the bastards. That's my policy, as Frank Drebin would say. It's oh man. Wow.
I timed out Lisa.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Wes Eagle.
Over 10 seconds.
You did time her out though for something. There you go. He is a mod, He is a mod, so.
Stunning and Brave then did it to her.
Oh gosh. Give it time. No, you'll be tied. The TO didn't work. Technical foul. 2 and they threw him out. Oh man. So let's see. The laughing there. No patience. No, I have a lot of patience for diplomacy. No, there are 2 things. One, Liam Neeson does not replace Frank Drebin in Naked Gun. No hard no for me for that. And 2, Darth Maul died, period. In his story, forget what Cowboy Hat did with the Clone Wars bullshit with his hate kept him alive forever. Bullshit. They're damn physical great Sith Lords that could not maintain a physical presence and who, they were condoned to relics and temples and shit. Even Palpatine had to transfer his force aura between clone bodies, but they died so quickly because of this dark side energy. My mods have final discretion, but hey. Wes already took over the channel by hosting also. He's multitasking tonight. Let me get back to Balzette say here about why the flying disc is in the first movie. Prequel ties everything together but changes too much. Alien vs. Predator should have remained canon. I liked AVP though.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those. Are they any good?
I liked Alien vs. Predator. I did. I thought it got a bad rap, but
well, that's a lot of pew pew there, right? So
I believe
that's
so
kind
too,
of the
yeah.
action stuff, right? Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Oh, well, speaking of Pew Pew, Stunning said, watch Transformers 86. Hour long Pew Pew movie with Stan Bush, Weird Al Yankovic, Vince DiCola music. And one of the Orson Welles' last performance. I believe so, yeah. One? Yep, I believe that is. Yeah. That's coming up on its 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
Speaking of 40th anniversaries, a week from Thursday, Daisy Blossom and I will resume our movie streams. So next Thursday at 8 p.m., Daisy and I will be live talking about movies from 1985, from 40 years ago. So I hope y'all can.
Wow, 85 had some good movies, if I remember.
Exactly. I'm trying to remember. Back to the Future, I thought was one of them, but
it might have been.
Or was it? I can't remember. 84, 85. I get the years confused sometimes. But yeah, Darth Maul lives. 9 lives like a cat. Yeah. Only drinking blue milk, never green. I don't care. My kid and I tried the crap at Disney one time. Just no. Get yourself a butt. Yeah, it wasn't even enjoyable. It's not like butterbeer at Harry Potter. Butterbeer is a good drink. It's nice. That blue milk was kind of like
gay.
It just was not.
You are right though. I just wanted to interject it. Back to the Future, 1985, top film of that year. So.
Yep. Which was great in 2020 when everything reopened here, when they had no movies to play. I got to see that for the first time on the big screen. So, and Lisa does say AVP is rewatchable.
You know what also came out in 85, and I don't know if I did. Was it? Oh no, it was on Stark Stream. We talked about it. Watership Down. We may have talked about this before. Also, the movie Watership Down with the rabbits, the cartoon. Scarring of many kids from my generation because we thought it was a cartoon for kids. But the same people that made that one made a film about another Douglas Adams book called The Plague Dogs. Mm-hmm. Much darker, much more. At least Watership Down had some high moments. Plague Dogs was just a downer of a film. Good Lord. But it was good, though. Good. I mean, listen, let's say it's a downer. Doesn't mean it's bad.
No, exactly. Peter Venkman, I had to get that. Luke drank green milk. That's why he went nuts. No, he went nuts from having to milk the tit of that sea cow thing.
Yeah, that was
disgusting. That was early in that stupid ass movie, and I tell you what, right? That turned me off.
Mm.
That was just so disgusting that it was like, really, you put this in Star Wars?
Again, I think it was the intentional degradation of Luke Skywalker, so they could replace him with Rey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, they already got Han Solo out of the way in the first movie.
Oh yeah, that was my biggest gripe about the first movie. It wasn't that he died; it was the way he died. It was pointless, senseless.
Yeah. So. Hi, son. I love you. Screw you, Dad.
Yep.
It just was. It was and then of course you had Finn, who everybody dreamed up was force sensitive, a stormtrooper, blah blah. And apparently he was just a trash man. It's like really.
Yeah.
Y'all are like, people wanted to invest in some of those characters. I would have too, but the complete disrespect to the original characters of what I got. We got Han and Leia as a deadbeat, broken up couple. Could never actually have some happiness and continuation of something, It's all of Hollywood and stuff like that. Why break them up? If you read the EU, you knew that they had their issues in their marriage and stuff, especially when the kids grew up, and then one died. And they're just, but
but they stayed together.
But they stayed together.
Yep.
It's what made Han Solo a big character in expanded universe. I mean, the actor should read a damn book himself, like his father said in Last Crusade, and get to understanding what these characters were and how they were developed. Of course, when you say you don't have source material, that's another problem. But I mean, really, it was a very deep, complicated character if you invested and read into it. But and then to give him such a cheap death out there.
Exactly.
It was that was the worst part. Was it's just the cheap death? It was just a waste of a waste of a great character.
Yep. It would at that point, giving him that kind of exit, it would have been better off if he had in the first movie sacrificed himself, Chewie, and the Millennium Falcon, like somehow in order for Luke to be able to destroy the Death Star. I mean, if you're gonna do him dirty like that by that point, just give him an honorable death. Give him the hero's death, the self-sacrifice death. To me, that is what every Hollywood hero archetype. If you're going to write him out of your film, your franchise, whatever. That's the way to do it. That's what gives the audience the most satisfaction.
Yeah. Let's see, subverting. I hate that damn term. That was so stupid. But like Steve said, in that series with the Yu Vong, it's after the Yu Vong, but Jason, who turned dark, was redeemed by Jaina. I think there's so much in that was out there. It just.
Did he get redeemed? I thought he was. I thought Jaina just did him in. Didn't even bother redeeming him.
She did, but I think she redeemed him sort of at the end before it happened.
It's been a while since I read.
But yeah, book. But the thing is, it was all really powerful and a moving. Some of the best writing ever. But see, compared Han Solo's death in the movie to Chewbacca's in the series, with the Yuuzhan Vong invasion. I mean, I remember when that happened, the world was mad. How dare you kill off Chewbacca? Blah blah blah, and all this other stuff. People were mad, but when I read it, it was like, you couldn't help but be emotional because I mean, he had the hero's death.
Yes,
he sacrificed himself for his friend's child to live.
Yep.
He knew he couldn't get back on the Falcon. The moon's coming down. Han had to leave. They looked at each other. They knew what was up and had to say goodbye without saying goodbye. And then in like typical Wookiee fashion, turned and howled at the moon in defiance. That's a heroic death, not this stupid crap where they just shit on his memory. I mean, with everything, all of them, and then they exactly. He came back for a fight. Yeah, exactly. And everything became and that's what happened. This is why people like me can't go back to Star Wars. I try with Mandalorian. I will watch some things, and I will. If anybody wants to watch it, fine. That's good for you. You have the right to watch whatever you want to. But I like to claim Padme. Anakin, you're choosing a path I just can't take. It's just kind of with this. They destroyed Han and Luke, the characters I grew up with. They're not the same, and by doing that, there's nothing left for me there. So,
well, the final episode was it season 2? Season 2 of The Mandalorian, right? I think where Luke shows up, that was epic. To me, that was epic.
Yeah, it was. Now, to some people, it was still like not canonical Luke, but the problem is at least I think a lot of people were willing to accept a kick-ass Luke that came in that. So exactly, and like Stanley said, the whole point of the years Luke was to restore the Jedi Order and rebuild it better than
exactly.
And that's what it was. Instead of now this,
And he did it with his kids. He did it with his wife.
Sashi, I'm back. Complaining about Star Wars used to be my main hobby. Sorry, I don't mean to get on this again. It kind of morphed into what we got. We got 16 still hanging out at 12:45 on the East Coast. It's like, damn.
No, this is it's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Everything goes back to Star Wars when we start getting on and on about the culture.
And Fallout Dave and Lisa don't are here to egg it on too. So, well, you said the 6 degrees, but as last year there was this great movie. Nick Cage is one of the world's
Oh God.
wonderful actors. Did you hear about the movie last year about the incredibly talent of Nick Cage? There was a movie called that.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned this before in the streams. If Nick Cage is on the billboard,
Mm-hmm.
I will actively boycott in front of the theater for that movie. I'm sorry. Nick Cage has only ever had one good movie,
Which
and
one
that's
is that?
Kick-Ass. That was a role that was designed for him.
Superman?
No, it was Batman and Kick-Ass.
Oh, well, they did. I watched The Flash with the missus, and they did have the Nick Cage Superman image in it.
Oh God.
They did. We saw it with our own eyes. Now
Nick
we
Cage
can't
is just
unsee it.
terrible. He is like the there are three people in cinema that I will actively run like my hair is on fire from a theater if they're in it. It's him, it's Will Ferrell, and it's Steve Carell. Steve Carell.
Oh God, I agree with you on Carell and Will Ferrell. Mrs. and I talked about Elf last year. He was too much for that movie. We just could not. We're like, he's too much. We hated Elf because of him. Everybody acts like this damn movie. But Balzette said it's wrong to be okay to be wrong, Wes, because I like Nick Cage and stuff. It was actually 2022, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Oh, okay. No.
And it's got Nick Cage in it. It was with his name, and it featured him as himself.
Well, if
of course he had your friend Pedro Pascal. He had your friend Pedro Pascal with him, though.
God, the fashion icon. Yeah.
Oh, not Batman, but Big Daddy.
Oh yeah, Big Daddy. Yeah, he was Big Daddy. Yeah.
Oh God, Big Daddy. Yeah.
But I'm telling you, he was perfect for that role. I could not. I mean, like I said, I don't. And don't get me wrong. If you're a Nick Cage fan and you like all the films that he's in, again, God bless you. You like what you like. Everybody likes what they like. I like stuff that people go, what?
Yep.
But if there's any movie that Nick Cage was born to be in, was the role of Big Daddy in Kick-Ass. It was made for him.
Oh, good. Now, see, Sashi talks about how the empire has fallen. We used to have big celebrations, big gatherings over there. Used to be invited to May 4th midnight celebrations a long time ago. No celebrations now. And it's sad. It's sad what's happened with it.
Yeah, May the 4th be with you.
But you know what? There are a lot of people that say that's not that's a Disney made up holiday. Right. The real Star Wars Day is what, May 24th or May 25th, the day that the original
25th,
movie was.
I think it was 25th. Yeah,
okay,
you're right.
The day the movie was released originally. So now, Stunning said Nick Cage should have come back to play Ghost Rider in Deadpool Wolverine movies. Yeah, because he was Ghost Rider. Did you not like him in the Ghost Rider movie?
You know what? I have to say, I've not seen every single Nick Cage movie, so I leave room open the possibility that there's somewhere that he's got a good role, but I'm skeptical. So
yeah. Now, see, okay, we're gonna step way into this. Pedro Gross will never watch another movie with him in it. Unfortunately, it's becoming to where he gets shoved in every damn thing now. I'm going to ask you, Wes, because you're sci-fi, and some of you guys out there are sci-fi. Well, not really sci-fi, but Marvel or DC comic people.
Right.
Are you going to go watch the new Fantastic Four?
No. I have not. I have not stepped foot in a movie theater since I walked out of The Last Jedi.
Wow.
And that was, I happened to go there because I was giving Hollywood a second chance. the last movie I had gone to see before that was War of the Worlds in the theaters.
Tom Cruise,
And
yeah.
yeah, and that was last century. That was 1990 something. Was it
Yeah.
99? So, or maybe it was early 2000s. It might have been early
Check.
2000s. So I was not going to the theater. I mean, I ended on a high note because that was a good movie. All the other stuff started to be crap. So I'm like, I'm not going to see this stuff. And I said, let me give this a shot. My brother's like, come on, let's go see this. I was up there visiting him when he was living in
2005.
Boston. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for
Yeah.
War of the Worlds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you were up
no.
in Boston with your brother?
Yeah, and we went to see The Last Jedi, and we're like, we actually went to the theater manager, like, hey, can we get our money back? Because this is an insult. I think I might have to pour bleach in my eyes.
God, yeah. So like Ghost Rider, Agents of Shield wasn't Johnny Blaze 2, and Fallout Dave said no. Girl Boss 4, because that's what it sounds like. Is that Sue Storm? I mean, this is based on all the rumors and stuff, and that's the thing is I think we have to watch all these movies. I don't trust leaked reports and stuff like that, even no matter how much it turns out we were right with it, because it's like I'm big for seeing the believing, and it will ultimately reveal itself when it's released. But Sue Storm is not the leader of Fantastic Four. Even I know that. It's Reed Richards. It was all built around Reed.
Mm-hmm.
And but I mean, and then the graphic. Have you seen this little clip with this like green turd monster coming out of the roads?
No.
On Twitter. Have you seen that one?
No,
Oh God,
no.
you got to see that. Look on Twitter. It's everywhere on Twitter, and it's like it looks shitty. Even I'm not a Fantastic Four fan. It's like it's, and then and get a friggin' shave. I'm kind of like, like wear a damn suit, like somebody says to somebody else. That's like shave, Pedro. Reed Richards was not a bum with a beard and shit. He was clean. Anyway, sorry about that. I guess I demand too much. So now Stunning said, I'm curious about the Fantastic Four movie, but going into it viewing it standalone because I don't like the current state of MCU. Not really interested in what they're doing with Iron Doom. Yeah, because we got Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Dr. Doom, which I've actually heard on another show the other night. Comment made that maybe this is Tony Stark or Iron Man coming back as was wounded, injured, or somehow, and then it turned him into Dr. Doom, which to me was like, what?
Yeah, that's a stupid idea.
It's like you gotta go around your asshole to get to your elbow. It's like sometimes don't make it so complicated.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
If you want to kind of go that route, saying that we're bringing back Stark, and he has been kind of after the events of the Avengers, he's been corrupted and become some kind of an evil force. Make a new character. Don't make him that he's now an established character. Make him something new. That would be cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I agree. You got to take them very cautiously. So, oh, hello, Lo. Listening to an island from off of Ireland at 6 a.m. just recommended to me. What's up? Hey, well, welcome, Lo. Good to see you tonight. I'm Dadman Walking 55. I got Wes Cagle with me. This is part of our late night with Dadmans. Usually starts at 10 p.m. 10 a.m. Yeah, that'd be a long late night.
Yeah.
It would be late night somewhere in the world, but we're just kind of rambling about various topics. We've been all over the place between basketball, sports, movies. There's no real thing that we do one in particular. We a whole bunch of variety stuff, and we're still going. My wife went to bed 30 minutes ago, and we're still going because you know what? We're having fun talking. So sit back, relax, and feel free to chat in. And we're probably going to be wrapping up in the next few minutes because I do need to get to bed soon. But
yes,
Greg, glad you have you with us, and check us out. Get the notifications. Like I tell everybody, please subscribe, like videos. We appreciate your support, and we primarily I also do a lot of Fortnite streams, random stuff. Wes plays with me. Other people do. Several members in the chat, and so this channel is really a bunch of different types of stuff. But if it came recommended, I am so happy to hear that, because that's a great news, because most of the time Fallout Dave's telling me he can't even get my notifications when I go live. So yeah. But
Yep.
yeah, welcome. Enjoy your stay here. And Simply Steve said it's more of a what if Iron Man became Doctor Doom. But see, my brain can't even go into that thing. It was like, why would you? Why even?
What ifs are better reserved for the comic book genre as opposed to Hollywood movies. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, they've done that plenty of times. They've done what ifs plenty of times in the comic genre. So
hyperfactuals, I think, is one thing that historians talk about. It's like all the what ifs and stuff, and they're dangerous to play with, because you cannot always extrapolate clearly what would have happened if this had happened or that had happened. And like I said, I can't go there with even the comic book stuff, because my thing is the good guy should stay good forever. I mean, when we've had some with the Batmans or the Supermans, or some of these characters kind of go dark or something, that was never for me. I never liked stuff like that. I was really big, hey, once good, always good, and that's
you're not an '80s wrestling kind of guy, or '80s or '90s wrestling guy, where the golden boy becomes the heel at some point. Always, every single time. All my favorite wrestlers from the '80s that ended up becoming a heel at some point.
Yeah. So, and Stunning also then further said, lots of people took what Vanessa Kirby said about her portrayal of Sue way out of context and was way overreacted to. Okay, well, that's fair. I think what Stunning's trying to say is don't listen to what she said so much, but that that there's a lot of overreactions, and that's possible. I've actually heard that happen before. I mean, Shang-Chi was not a bad movie for me. I know that there was a lot of talk, a lot of stuff, but I didn't see a lot of stuff that people complained about. But you know, and there have been other movies that I've watched that I've enjoyed. That if I had listened to critics or anybody else, I would have never gone to. By the way, it's too late now, but this last weekend, a couple nights, and then tonight, the Wednesday night they had Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade back in the theaters as a Fathom event. Unfortunately, I did not get to see that. I'm kind of unhappy, but hey, we're here tonight.
Well, down at the I told you I go to we've been going to the same campground since the late '70s. My brother still has a site down there. He's got a projection screen and a projector, and that he can hook up to the laptop that I have, and I've got all these old films. We played Blazing Saddles on there, and the owner of the campground said, "You guys can't play that here."
I bet. Which is funny. We were talking about 2 hours ago. We were talking about Blazing Saddles.
Yep.
Isn't that funny how we come around the first circle?
Yep. We
I'm
played the original trilogy of Star Wars one time, and I mean the original theatrical releases, so that when Star Wars was played, there was no New Hope, no Episode 4, just the scroll.
And Han shot.
Han shot, and did Guido win?
That's it.
Guido win. Yep.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, we got 19 likes. Thank you, everybody out there, for doing that tonight. Almost to 20, but I'm going to have to wrap up. We got another 2 minutes to 3 hours, but we're going to go ahead and wrap up, because I do need to get a little bit of sleep tonight. But Wes, thanks for hanging on another hour after the missus left. We played Where in the USA, so that's cool. We get, I tell you what, we get more international people. We'll definitely have to do somewhere in the world again and expand that game beyond just the US. So I know, well, real quick, if you can hit it, what do you think? Because Stunning had said about Doom is a cool villain, but the movies haven't gotten it right.
Yeah, the movies often, the Hollywood often doesn't get the characters just right, and I say this all the time. It often depends on what you've experienced first. I read The Lord of the Rings, way before, and I'm talking in the 70s, so it was way before Peter Jackson, way before even Rankin Bass, all those things. And so to me, that's the basis, and that's the best thing. It's far better than the films.
Right.
However, now I can also say that I've seen other things where I've seen the movies first and then read the books afterwards and gone, God, the book's crap.
Yeah.
So
No.
but it's always often what you're exposed to first. So
Well, I tell you, the prime example for me is a couple of Grisham's books, The Firm and The Pelican Brief.
Okay.
The Firm was Tom Cruise. I went to the movie. I wanted to walk out and leave, but the dumbass I was with refused to. That movie was so bad with Tom Cruise. Like, yeah, Mr. Mob Boss, I'm going to rat out my bosses, but I can't about you because of attorney-client privilege. It's a bullshit. You'd end up in the East River with concrete shoes, And if that wasn't bad enough, the FBI ain't going to let you walk out the door. Then, but see, that was a case where it was so bad I went and bought, not even checked out. I bought the book and read it and loved The Firm because it was much better and realistic. But I was exposed to the movie first. Pelican Brief, I was exposed to the book first, read it, liked it. It was kind of okay, not as good as The Firm, but it was okay. But when I watched the movie was bland and boring because I'm sitting here noticing plot gaps that honestly would, if I had not read the book first, I would have missed a lot of this stuff. So
yeah,
no,
it's always what.
Let me say goodnight to Lo though, real quick. I hope you two bless you. Thank you. We appreciate it. Hey, and I hope to see you back, Lo. This is part of the thing happens. We may have said goodnight, and I need to wrap up, but we could go another hour, right, Wes?
I've seen that before. Yeah.
Yeah, we've done this all the time before. So, I mean, we kind of hit a topic, but we will be wrapping up soon. I do need to go to bed. But you really appreciate that, and thank you for the feedback because, we do struggle with some things. But thank you for the encouragement, Sasha. Yeah, I claim number one Asian. Of course, you've been here forever, Sashi, and you forgot to share the food recipes tonight. That would have extended us a bit longer. But yeah, it's all good. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up there, folks. Make plans to join us next Wednesday night again at 10 o'clock. Possibly this Friday night at 10. I'm not sure yet. A lot of life happens around here, which has things moving in spaces these days. But that's why we do a lot of random stuff like our random stragglers. We appreciate it. Do remember the people of Tennessee, North Carolina in your prayers and thoughts because apparently they've had a more heavy rain across western North Carolina. Remember Hurricane Helene this last year caused so much flooding and damage and even washed out I-40 up there. I-40 is collapsed again. The highway's closed with multiple cars and an 18-wheeler stuck in the mud. And there's video you can just see. I mean, they just rebuilt that roadway and reopened it in the last couple months.
Wow.
So be in thoughts and prayers for everybody up there, and they're still struggling to recover from the hurricanes last year.
God bless the Amish. They have gone down there and they have been rebuilding slowly over the last, I don't know how many months now since that hurricane, rebuilding entire communities with their bare hands.
Yep. Absolutely amazing work they've done, and kindness to your neighbors. As like the minister said, be kind, no peace, and and no regrets, because basically you don't know what you'll have tomorrow. On that night note, good stream with next stream, food and nuts. There you go. Sounds good to me. Nuts. And of course, good stream. Thank you, Lemon Pie. Lisa said something earlier too, and of course our friends Anna and Clifton. Check out them out, support them, and thank you everybody for being here. And as Dave said, good night, everyone. And on that note, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to our channel, get your notifications. Follow me on Twitter at DadmanWalking55 to see whenever we go live next. And we will catch you later. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.